Ginger Locks, you're up too. I was bored. I watched your video though. Gary, good morning. Ugh, I got heartburn. Hey, Mr. Positive, how you doing? .com, hello. I had a heartburn really bad tonight, or I don't know why. I didn't eat anything. I actually ate leftovers from a restaurant we went to the other day. I'm telling you, I don't know what's wrong with my YouTube. It never, it used to work right. It doesn't work right anymore. Let me see. We go. Okay, now it's working. Hey, Brutal Mafia. I sure am. Cindy, hello. Cindy, I have got heartburn so bad. It feels like my chest is going to come out. It's on fire. I know, Cindy. I wasn't going to go live. And then I thought, oh, I'm bored. Hi, Diana. Hello, my friend. I'm in bed. I'm just laying in bed, and I'm sitting here, and I have acid reflux really bad, and I'm thinking, what can I watch on TV? And I'm going through the channels I usually watch, which is the Travel Channel, ID Channel, or the Food Network, and none of the channels have anything on that I want to watch. So I'm like, well, why don't you just hit the live button to see if anybody wants to come in and talk? So here I am. It's not like me to go live at night, but so I'm trying to think, is there any stories I can tell? I don't know any stories. I actually should be sleeping, but this heartburn is just, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, if I had a story to tell, I would tell it. And I remember I went live one night and I told a story about me and my husband, like when we first got married, and we went to this hotel room this with this. It had one of those, those great big huge tubs. And so he was gonna do something really romantic. It was like a hot tub, in the room. Oh no, it was like a honeymoon suite or something. And he's like, we're gonna get in there. So he's like, he, turned the water on. We were gonna take this bath together, but it was so hot. He put one foot in there. He took it out really fast because it was too hot. Oh, I thought it was funny. You had to be there. It does, Mr. Positive. It does. It's horrible. It's like, oh, I I get it depends on what I eat, I think. No, it's not gonna be dirty. I don't have any dirty stories. Well, that's how boring my life is. Boring story. I don't have any like dirty stories to tell. We all have stories in us. I've told so many recently on my channel. I've seen that. I've been watching your stories, Diana. You have a lot of stories to tell. don't ever eat anything spicy or with citrus before bed at least for 4 hours. But it has been 4 hours. It's just like, and this Alka-Seltzer is temporary fix. And, I mean, this is going to sound gross, but once I burp, it feels better, but only temporarily. So if you hear me burp, it's because I like swig down this Alka-Seltzer. Hijacked by a tow truck driver story. You were on. Hi, Denise. How you doing? I'm trying to think if I have any good stories. I could tell you the story like when I was a kid and we went camping out in the mountains with my dad. My dad was a big thing. He loved camping in like tents. And so there was like it wasn't like it was like in the middle of the woods, and there was all there was in our camping spot to go to the bathroom was an outhouse. And so I had to go to the bathroom. It was in the middle of the night, so I went to the outhouse, and it was like when I came out, there was a big black bear looking me in the face. So of course, like I'm like, oh no, close the door, and I started screaming, and I scared the bear away. Of course, once I started screaming, my dad came running, and freaked the bear out. But yeah, that was kind of scary. I guess that's a story. And then I told the story about, hi Deborah. I told the story about when my we lost our cat camping, and it we found it 28 days later. I think it was a month later. Yeah, we came back and came, the cat came around. We went back camping at the same spot, and the cat was there. We had figured the cat had died because we couldn't find it. So there's another story. We had lots of camping stories. My dad was a pilot, and he swears that he saw a UFO one time when we went camping. Him and my mom, we us kids went to bed, you know, fairly early, and my dad told us that they sat around the campfire, and he swears that he saw a UFO. He was pilot, so he knew what airplanes look like. Um, and then there's the story. I could tell you the story about when I was born. Try soda drink that will shift gas. Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from soda because I've been drinking a lot of Pepsi lately. When I was born, my mom was in labor and my dad's plane crashed. He was a test pilot. And of course, she was in labor with me. So they didn't want to tell her because they didn't know if my dad had survived the plane crash because they couldn't find him. And so they didn't want to tell her while she was in labor with me that my dad's plane had crashed. And so they didn't tell her. And then after they found him hanging in the tree, his parachute got snagged on a tree and he was hanging from a tree. So that's another story. So I came in this world with a bang. My dad spoiled me rotten too, because I was like the first girl in the family for I don't know how long. My grandfather spoiled me too, because I was the first girl. So I picked his prize roses. I picked his prize roses and gave them to my grandmother. He was so mad. Sure. Hang on. Um, uh-oh. See if that works. I don't know if I did this right. don't know if I did that right. Um, okay. Is someone coming up? I just dropped the link. I'm trying to get rid of this heartburn. You don't know me. Oh, there she is. Oops. Hang on. I haven't done it on my tablet in a long time.
There you are.
Hey.
I'm like, I didn't hear you. I'm like, where'd you go?
Oh, I'm on my tablet. I'm usually on my computer, and I forgot how to put someone up on a stream.
I know I'm on my phone, so it's just as bad.
It's so weird. Yeah, on my phone. I'm useless on my phone.
Mm.
Hey, Rocky.
Okay.
So what's up?
Right.
Hey, Pixie.
Let me tell you some stories. But see,
Okay.
some of them aren't mine. Some of them are my sister's, which
Okay.
makes it okay for me to tell the story. I'm
Okay.
going to tell you the story of my sister.
Okay.
My sister had balls of steel when she was in high school. I don't know why. Her group was like the shit. Whatever. I loved the group of girls. Those girls they were all like big sisters to me. But in anywho, what part was I at? I just forgot.
You're telling a story.
Yeah, like what part was I at? I forget.
In school, she had balls.
Yeah, she had brassy balls. So they went to a party. Her friend Linda decided to have a Christmas party, and my friend had heard about this party, and I'm like, oh, my sister's going to that. But see, I know this, but my parents don't know this. And I said, well, I want to go. My sister's like, oh, hell no, you're not going. My sister's not going. No. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Oh, thank freaking God. Well, no, like we lived in a row home in Philadelphia, which are not that big. And the cop said it looked like school let out.
Hi, Texas girl. Hi, Evelyn.
Once the cop said they pulled up. Now, mind you, we all graduated with 1,000 or more. So the cop pulls up, and then he finds my sister. She's upstairs on the phone with my mom, and the cop's like, "That's it, you're under arrest." And my sister looks at herself and goes, "Do I want to deal with my mom, or do I want to deal with the cop?" She hung the phone up. So all of a sudden, my mom calls back, and the cop answers the phone. He's like, look, I'm a young cop. He goes, I'm telling you, man, this is one good party. He's like, if I didn't have my uniform on, damn, I would be here. He said, but see, the girl who had the party, her parents were Italian. So they went home for Christmas to Italy every year. And not Linda went to Italy every year. So she didn't go. And so they're away. And they come home finding out that all of their stuff got puked on. There's puke everywhere, for what I was told. Really bad. My sister's stories are way better. Than
Oh, me and my sister. Well, we were like fire and ice. We fought she was a goody
Oh,
two
I mean, so
shoes.
did me and Beth. Me and Beth, like the thing was Beth. Which when I think about it now, was in my opinion, she would say absolutely, I did not, and she would believe it. No, she bullied the shit out of me. But guess what? I gave it back as much as she gave it, though. I'm like, you're going to do that to me. I'm going to now do this to you. It was I was not the type of person to start with someone just to start, except for my husband. That's probably about it. But yeah, so the, the cop picks up the phone. My mom's like, yes, that's my daughter. That's yep. He's like, look. My mom's like, can you arrest her? He goes, there's no way. There's too many. He's like, at least I got you on the phone. He said, can you come get her? She's like, sure. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And, as a high school student, that's like really, really late. I'm like, oh, I can't sleep. I can't wait. Like, I was excited to see this. Like, am I terrible?
My sister used to squeal on me all the time. Whenever I tried to do something, she was
My,
always
my,
squealing on me.
my sister used to know how to make me feel severely insecure. And unfortunately, she's just as insecure as I am. That's so it was just pushing off her beliefs off of me. I'm just like her. I'd love her to death, don't get me wrong.
You don't have any brothers, right? I had two brothers and one sister.
No, I have two sisters. Um, let's see what other. Oh God knows, I got so many funny stories. Oh, um, so there's one night, and I had worked for this company in Philadelphia. When I look back on the company that I was working for, I think back and go, like, why did I take that job? It was so unethical. When I think about it now, I didn't think about it then because they were trying to sign people up for credit cards and give away free stuff. We were that company that did that, but we did it for other companies in zoos in all different places all over the United States. Like some people would tap you on the shoulder like 4 o'clock on a Friday. Hey, you think you can be in Milwaukee by 10 o'clock tonight? Are you kidding me? No, not at all. Go to Milwaukee. Um,
Wow.
oh, the stories, the coolest story I think that ever happened was I worked for a radio station when I worked in country. And I must tell you, I am the biggest uncountry fan. I really am.
Oh, you don't like country? I love
I
country.
am not country at all. I am alternative all the way. Like where you have Marissa who's all about the dance music and the Britney Spears and all that. And I'm like, no, give me Green Day, give me Dave Matthews Band, you know, give me Rage Against the Machine. Learning something new about me now. You know who they are?
No.
Dave, you don't know Dave Matthews Band?
Oh, I know who they are.
Okay.
You're in love with them. I know. I was just typing to someone in chat.
All right, let's call it what it is. I am not in love with him. He is married, he's taken. And from what I hear, his
Oh,
wife is saintly. So I would never, ever. And he's got apparently 3 good kids, from what I hear as well. But I want to be his, I just want to be his friend. That's all. And literally, I got to be friends with the bass player one night. We sat and drank together. And the keyboarder came down at the same time. We were sitting at a bar. I'm like, and we were in the bar. Like, was I being slightly stalky? Maybe, yeah. But you want you admire these people so much, especially at that time and age of your life. So, we just sat. We
Were
was
you
not.
a groupie?
I No, because they didn't know me that well. No, Stefan knew who I was. That was the only one who knew who I was.
Were
Or sometimes
who's
remember me, but if I
who's
would have walked,
being watched?
hmm?
Spoofah? Spoofer says, I think we're being watched by someone else streaming. Yawn.
Why?
Good for them. Yawn.
Who's
Oh
who's
my God.
who's streaming?
I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't pay attention to losers.
I mean, I guess you can easily twist something into a narrative of something I said, which I don't know what I said.
I actually
What I
was pretty
did.
good when I was a kid. I did your normal stuff, went to like bush parties and stuff, but I once stole a
Oh,
bottle of my
you did,
dad's homemade wine.
you called them bush parties?
We called them bush parties if we went out in the woods and drank.
Oh,
And I'll never forget, I projectile vomited this homemade
that
wine.
was when we had a kegger, or we had the keg. The
Oh,
keg's going to be
we
at
just
this.
brought whatever we could get because we were underage, so we couldn't go to the liquor store
Yeah,
and get
but
anything.
we had people who had no problems. No problems. There is
Well,
a
see, I
lot.
lived on an Air Force base, so we didn't have access to all that stuff because if you tried to do anything, it got
Like,
back, especially
here's
my dad, everything got back to him.
here's the crazy thing. I was a good kid. I was a really good kid. Always, do I like being told what to do? No. That was a big, big problem. Teachers always told my parents, and she can't sit still. ADHD. Now we know that. We didn't know that then, but I mean,
It's in
active
the bottle.
focus.
Diana
It was
says
like,
we
yeah,
had
it
to
was
in the
like
bottle.
every symptom of ADHD that was why they got mad at me. And I can remember with my sixth grade teacher, she said something, and unfortunately, I'm very facial expressive, but I try not to be, especially talking to a
Thank you,
teacher.
Diana.
Hi, Diana. She's
I
so
love
sweet.
Diana. She is
I
such a
hope I'm not
sweetheart.
boring people with my stories, but I didn't. I
No,
didn't.
I'm just saying hi to people that are coming in. I'm just reading the chat. I'm listening to you.
Oh
I'm,
no, but
I'm,
I'm like,
I'm
I think I jumped. I
multitasking.
would jump from one conversation to the other. I'm having that problem lately.
I'm,
Um,
I'm, I like, I flounder too. I go from one thing to another, and then I'll say, "Oh yeah, I remember this," or I remember that." Like when I said when I stole that bottle of wine from my dad and went out when we were having a party. I'll never forget it as long as I live because I was so sick after I drank because I wanted to drink it as I wanted to get drunk. So I wanted to drink it as fast as I could.
uh,
And I projectile vomited.
oh,
And I was so have you ever been so drunk that your bed spins and you're sick to your stomach all
but
night?
see, that's
So
not.
you stick one
No,
foot
no,
on
no,
the
no, no.
floor.
That's not drunk. That's buzzed. That's a serious, like just about drunk, but not quite. And you go
Oh,
down,
that was drunk.
and everything starts spinning. You're like, no, 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 no.
Oh, that was
What you
drunk.
do is like you put your head underneath a pillow. You do something to make your head from spinning.
I could not. That night I could not. Yeah, I could not lie down. I was so sick to my stomach. I was over the toilet. Like I was like, oh, if I died, I would feel better. I was
Mm,
so sick. Oh my
mm.
God.
And what,
I swore I would
eh,
never drink again.
when was that?
What's that?
When was that again?
I think I was 15. I think it was the very first time I ever got drunk.
I was going to say,
I don't
did you ever get drunker or as drunk?
Did I ever get drunker?
Or as drunk?
Yes, I
Right.
did. But at
That,
that
I'm
point, at
using
that,
I'm using the wrong grammar. The correct grammar would be more
did you
drunk.
ever drink as much or more?
Oh, hun, yeah. Hmm.
Is that what you meant?
Well, no, not really. I was talking about the comment you made. That's all.
Oh, well, I swore though at that time,
You and
because
me
that's the
don't
first
function too
time.
well at night, do we?
I swore at that time that I would never drink again. I did, but I
I meant
swore.
it then.
Oh, you meant what? That if I,
Like when, say, you get that so drunk feeling, and for me, like I can't even think of alcohol for like 3, 4 weeks easy because it's
oh,
just
it might have been a year after that that I drank.
Mhm.
That was a long time. Might
I
have
get
been when I could go actually get go to the liquor store and get liquor.
now. Here's the thing: my mom had said she when with when that she would feed me. One thing she would try to feed me would be peaches. Every time I would spit them out, like yeah, yeah. Again, put it in, spit it out. She's like, I don't think she like peaches. Did it again, same thing happened. She's like, she don't like peaches. So I always tell people I'm like I'm not a peach fan, and I was in don't judge me, don't judge me. I think it was sophomore year, and my friend had like a party, but it was like a bunch of girls just hanging out. It wasn't like the boys were there and everything. The girls were just hanging out. And we were mixing um, vodka, absolute vodka, with what it's what is it? The green stuff that you put in makes it green. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I do know what you mean because I think I got sick on that one time.
Mm. Now, do me a favor, because my brain is in another place. Where was I before I say that? My brain does not work after 10 o'clock. I'm real
Grenadine. Someone said grenadine.
grenadine. Hold on. Sorry.
Is that what you mean?
Um, just try, I need to see what we were talking about. Pick it up.
You don't know me said grenadine is what you're talking about.
Oh, oh.
Gren oh, cherry syrup. Ew. Yuck.
See,
I don't know
this
any of
is
those
this is
liqueurs
this
are
is the
awful.
this
Green stuff.
is I
Puke?
no I've told you that now my sister got tested. I got tested. We have POTS.
Hi, Rosa. Hola.
I'm not telling. I said, well, now I'm telling everybody. So I'm telling you, and the world. But yeah, I have POTS. So if I'm constantly forgetful, it's not that I'm drunk. It's literally because my blood sugar can't keep up with the fact that I'm not eating hardly anything, and I lose where I was in a story, and it's to me it's embarrassing because I don't lose my places like that. So I was worried because I thought maybe it might be early stages of onset dementia or of Alzheimer's. I didn't know. I didn't know. Um, but no, it's definitely the marijuana that's going on. But these blackouts that I'm having has something to do with everything together. So we haven't figured it out yet. But hopefully on the 23rd, I will.
You're not going back to the doctor till the 23rd?
Oh, he is on vacation for a month.
Oh, I like the green melon liqueur. That tastes good.
Oh, that's what it was, the liqueur. Yes.
Can
And
you do
we would mix
yogurt?
that with
Can you do
straight.
yogurt? Can you do yogurt? No, I don't think she can.
I can't do, yeah, too thick of a consistency.
Oh, I had yogurt tonight. It was awful.
Um, Back to the lemon green liqueur. Oh my God. We would drink that with vodka. And the liqueur was our like to make it not as vodka y. We were young. We were so stupid. So stupid. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, we did a lot of dumb things. And I think for the neighborhood I grew up in,
I think you did a lot more stuff than I ever did.
I think I did a lot more stuff than most people did. Now I'm starting
But
to.
then I got married really young too. I was like 18.
I have friends who got married right after high school.
I was,
My,
yeah,
I, I have a friend.
I was pretty much, yeah.
We'll call her Kay. And Kay came out and having babies right after one after boom, 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 boom. Now she's got grandbabies. She is 45 years old.
Yeah, well, I was 42 when I had my first one.
45. I'm like, wow.
I know.
I couldn't even imagine what it would be like
Yeah, but
because I
then
was such a
the
kid.
good thing about it is, well, I mean, I missed out on a lot because, like, I didn't do all the stuff you did, but I kind of grew up with my kids, you
And I
know?
have done a lot of that. Today I was
I can't imagine having kids like in my 40s.
today like I'm like, all right guys, let's
Tomorrow.
go. It's going to be a nice day. Let's go. We're going to do something fun. Oh, what do
Hi,
you
you don't know
know?
me. Good night. Good
Good
night. Good night.
night. Good night. I hope I'm not
Hey,
shaking out with
Samara.
boring stories. Hey, Samara, how are you?
Samara, we're telling stories.
And then once again, you gotta help me out here, lady. Where was I?
I don't remember.
You gotta remember. I gotta have someone who remembers.
I don't know your stories. You have
Oh,
to tell your own
well,
stories.
I think we were talking about what's going on with my head. Why I'm so
Oh, you were
forgetful.
talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's legitimately a disease itself. Um, and I have every symptom. So I texted my sister who has just about as many autoimmune. She does not have gastroparesis though. So she was spared. But I said, Beth, I said, I didn't want to use your name, but it came out. I said, I'm like, I fell. And she's like, yeah. I just literally, once again, forgot. I'm so bad. My head is not on straight and I'm so tired. My brain is not
You
thinking.
sound tired.
I am
Actually,
tired, but the kids are downstairs still screaming. I'm like trying to
Mother
keep.
says, "Be right
I'm
back.
trying to
Bouncing
keep my.
between two lies." How rude!
I know. I'm like telling you a story, and I go, I forget. That has to be so interesting for people.
I do that all the time. I do that in the
It's
morning
terrible.
when I just
It's
still get up.
that's
I
not.
bounce around,
And
and then
see,
I forget people, and I miss comments. And
I mean, Carla, I was never no Speedy Gonzalez, but I was quick with things. Things
well,
are.
give yourself a break.
That's what everyone keeps
Yeah.
saying that I have to do, but it's easier said than done. It is because I want to do things. The person inside says yes, yes,
Did
yes.
you get hold of True Help yet?
No, I have to. I want to
You
email.
need to get hold of him because he could probably help you.
I just and here's the thing. I've been on the phone with some of the hospitals, and they're like, "Well, how do we rectify this problem? This is a problem." Like they were like very. They called very apologetically, but they left a voicemail. So,
What? What? What do you mean? I mean, what did they mean by that? They're
meaning
apologetic for what? For letting you starve to death?
we're very apologetic for not getting
Oh,
back
I'm
to you
sorry. I'm
within
sorry that
3
we're letting you starve to death.
Mhm.
Can you? Oh, we'll get. Um,
Oh, I'm not
beep.
starving to death,
Leave a
but
message after the beep. Well, you're starved. I mean, obviously you can't eat.
I can't be starving. My body's like too big still to be starving. But but the rest of my body I am noticing is getting thinner to the point where I am looking sickly thin. Not like a thin of like I just worked out and lost 50 pounds. It's like a pale
Have
sickly look.
you like weighed? Do you know how much you've lost altogether?
Yep. And I weigh less than I did when I got married.
No, but I mean, how much have you lost since all this started? Since last year?
All together? What year is it right now? 2021. Mm, I'm trying to remember the date. I'm sorry. So my last time I actually flew was to I saw I saw Dave Matthews. I flew to see Dave Matthews. Who were the other two I flew to see?
Are we talking about the same thing?
I don't know. I'm so off.
I'm so mixed up now.
And the funny thing
Okay,
is,
no, wait. I
people.
asked you about your weight, and you said you taught you're telling me about Dave Matthews.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I'm like dozing off,
Well, no, I just
thinking,
thought, did I ask her the right question? I'm
no,
like,
it's me.
no, what I asked you was, how much have
It's
you
my
lost?
syndrome. It's not. I'm not drunk. I've.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. I got mixed up for a minute.
It's just gotten really much worse to the point that I get very upset when I don't remember things that I should, and just
Well,
it's.
this might just be that you're tired too. I mean, you do sound tired.
I am tired. I'm actually exhausted. But these two little brats are
So
still
what did you
there.
do with your girls today?
We did not go to Princeton. We went to the College of New Jersey. So my husband, I said, what do you want for dinner? Like, do you want to come? We'll meet you over Princeton. He's like, I don't even want to be here anymore. I just want to go home. I said, understandable. Me and the girls went to this place near here. has like a couple stores. It's right. It's at TCNJ, College of New Jersey. So, number one, fabulous sushi. If you ever go over near the College of New Jersey. But we went to the girls went at Panera, so they got their pizza.
Right.
So
No, because I remember you saying this morning you were gonna do something fun.
I wanted to things things start. I had so many calls from doctors, Carla, and then started like hysterical crying on these people. And I think I finally like just like let it out and like, all right, I'm okay. I'm okay, move on. And then I've talked to my friend who is going to help me with this channel. And well, at
Is
least
she
this
is
thing.
she on YouTube? Does she have a channel?
No, she does not. She's going to come on mine.
She's gonna
And
be like live with you or whatever.
right. And we're going to, and it's not going to be, and we want to know stories of how people were treated, how people are treated in the hospital because they have a chronic disease.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you have some of you have real ballsy doctors that go, yeah, I have. I have actually. These doctors are just. I'm so tired, sick and tired of everything.
Okay, Mr. Positive. Have a good night.
I think I'm
Ginger
laying
Locks, Mr.
down.
Positive says, he thinks about you all the time. So
Oh, thank you. And guys, let me be very clear. I'm not drunk. This is what my syndrome.
I think everybody knows that.
No, they don't. They don't.
Well, everybody that comes
I'm
in
just
here
making
knows it.
sure that I have a syndrome. It's called POTS, POTS. You can look it up anywhere. It'll tell you everything and basically what I'm going through. And especially the one thing that's driving me nuts that's affecting is my slurred speech. It slurs my speech. Like I feel like I'm slurring now. It's
You
weird.
are slurring your words a little bit, but
Yeah. It's
I
not.
I just chalked it up to being tired because that's how I am when I'm really tired. I'll
Well,
like
it
I'll like slur my
but
words and stuff.
even it could be that. It could be. But I don't know. I don't fully know because this disease is still the whole gastroparesis disease is very new to me and um, trying to cope has been difficult, extremely difficult. Um, I'm trying to find a therapist and I got a doctor on demand for tomorrow, which I thought was this
Hey,
morning.
funny comedian.
Huh? Oh,
I'm just
hi.
saying hi to people in the chat when they come in.
I'm sorry. I'm so
I'm just trying
tired.
not to ignore everybody.
I'm sitting here and I'm like my eyes are closed. I'm like I'm gonna start falling asleep when you're big. But it's not. I'm like not like you're boring me. It's because I'm getting tired. I don't know why. I've been so tired lately.
Well,
Makes
probably
no
because you don't
sense.
have enough nutrition to keep you awake.
Mm-mm, I don't.
You don't have enough
And
energy
and
to,
it,
keep going all
you
day and all night. And you do stay up late a lot of times.
and my when I was on the phone today,
Thank you, Diana.
I had told you about a friend of mine who had like a ridiculous amount of throat stretches.
Has a what?
She has had a ridiculous amount of throat stretches. They stretch out your throat to help things go down and digest.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, well, your sleep. And this is her 15th.
Thank you, tiny comedian. Everybody's saying they love you.
Oh, thanks everybody. Thank you. I'm like, I have my eyes closed because I'm so tired at the same time. And it's just been a day. I was on the phone with doctors, crying to doctors, crying to my own insurance company. Like, I don't know what to do. I've lost it. I cannot go without a
Were
day.
you talking to them today? Did you talk to your insurance company
Yes,
today?
yes, I did. Their nurse, not necessarily someone who works like the department of like billing or anything like that. She was
Mhm.
just a nurse reaching out to me to see how I was after my stay. I'm like,
Right.
it was terrible. But whatever. You just got to keep moving on. That's all we can do.
Well, maybe you'll change something, maybe you'll change, um, you know, maybe
I
you'll
don't know.
change things for the better.
I
How
would
in
like that.
hell did I do that?
What did you do?
Oh my God. I didn't even know I did that.
What did you do?
I pinned StreamYard link on the top of the chat.
Hmm.
I don't know. I didn't think I did that. See, I must be tired too.
Oh, I'm noticing I'm exhausted. And the more tired I'm getting, the more I'm slurring my speech because I'm so tired. And I really got to call up these children. They're still in the basement playing technology.
Are your
Everything.
kids still up?
Yeah, they're still up. They need to go to bed before I beat their butts.
Is
I'm
your
kidding.
husband still up too, or does he go to see? My husband's asleep.
No,
Does
my
he go?
husband.
He gets up like 5 o'clock in the morning,
Same with mine. Same with mine.
and he leaves the house about 6. That's why I'm up so early all the time.
I love them, but I ain't waking up that early for you. I really love you, but that does me no good.
I'm always up early.
But I am going to call this a night because I am really tired and my body's just like ready to go. I'm like, psh. But
Oh, thank you.com.
what do you say? What .com say?
What's that?
What's it .com say?
He said, Gingerlock's mom, love you. Great stream. My time for interactions, learning to decipher the boys' Greek and Latin shortcut notes.
Thank you. And thank you for understanding. Like seriously, because um at my daughter's birthday party, it was such a great birthday party for her Saturday. It was it was easy and it worked out wonderfully. So, just having an off balance day. And
Mhm.
sometimes, as I said, I'll slur my words. My mom, first thing to
I
say,
think it bothers you. You're more self-conscious about it than other people noticing it.
it pisses me off because you know how easy it is to go get
Thank you,
it.
Diana.
If you're suffering to get one from somebody, you can get them, but I don't want them. I don't want them. I mean, it helps in the hospital, especially when it's done intravenously. But other than that, it's no. I don't like the oral feeling of it. Like, although it has helped in certain situations, so I can't lie. But I don't
Yeah.
like it. I don't prefer it. So, sure, is that German lady? German lady. I'm so tired.
Hey, German lady.
I'm like
Nice to
punched.
see you.
I'm totally
How you
punched.
doing, German lady? I like German lady.
Always have.
I love her. German lady, do you know I was born in Germany? I don't know if I ever told anybody that I was born in Germany. I was born in Zweibrücken, Germany.
So when did you become a citizen of America?
I was never a citizen of Germany. I was born on a base. Do you know what I mean? Like I was born on an Air Force base
Right.
in Germany.
Hi, German lady. Good to see you. Good to see
Oh,
you.
my grandmother was German and my grandfather was Polish.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was born in Germany. And then we went back. We went back when I was about 7 or 8
Why did
years old. And I remember picking cherries. That's the weirdest things. You remember the weirdest things about your childhood. I remember
oh
picking cherries in Germany.
yes, I can remember
Oh,
walking on.
you're half German, half Polish. My grandmother spoke Polish, German, Ukrainian, and something else. She spoke like 4 languages.
That's crazy. That's a lot. I wouldn't. I'm not that smart. Not that smart at all.
Oh, Diana's Polish too. Isn't that weird what you find out about mother's side is Polish? I think that's quite common.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go.
Oh, okay.
The kids
Sorry.
are coming up. So how about I will check you out like tomorrow because as you can tell, I am
You're
so
gonna fall
tired.
asleep.
I'm
Hi,
I'm
Andy Too Short. I'm here to ask if you would let Richard Groper come up to clear some false accusations made against him respectfully. No, he's going to come up and be an ass. So, no. Answer no. I'm having a nice stream. I don't need him to ruin it.
good night, Carla.
Oh,
Good
good
night.
night. Love you.
And
You
thanks for
get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
yeah. I definitely need some sleep at the moment.
He's not a bad guy. Oh, really? He's going to come up on my panel and berate me? Think not. What happened with Mr. Groiper? Oh, he was just acting like an ass, sticking up for someone that faked cancer, and I don't like her, and I'm never gonna like her. I mean, that's fine if he wants to hang out with her. Give him a chance or what? To come up here and act like an idiot? I don't want to be known as someone that supports a racist. Look, I've got German lady in here, and I heard that he was on someone's panel and said that something about Hitler. No, I don't want anything to do with that. My grandma came over here in the banana boat from Poland. Yeah, um, my grandmother, I don't know how my grandmother got here, to be honest with you. Let's say he is racist or slandering him. He says it himself. You say that kind of stuff on a German team, you can get in legal trouble. About Hitler, you mean? No, I didn't. I'm hearing that that person that they want me to put on my panel said it and said stuff about Jewish people and African Americans, and I don't want anything to do with that. Really? I heard it was on a panel that he said it. So I would prefer, like, he stay over there with the fake cancer scammer, and I stay over here in my lane. He has said racist remarks, Andy. Yes, Jim, he has. Why are you white knighting for him? Oh, and Analyzer didn't fake cancer. Okay. Okay. Hey, mass spoofer. They are doxing Kansas. Oh, I thought they didn't like doxers and people that go real life, and they're doing that. Okay. Analyzer's an asshole, isn't she? She really is. Bed slug. She needs to get out of bed and maybe jog around the block a couple times. We make the homemade noodles and pierogies. I love pierogies. My grandmother made the best pierogies. She's the best cook. That's why I got so chunky when I was a teenager. No one else, though. Why do they hate him so bad? I don't like people that do that stuff. Just pick on one person and pick and pick and pick and pick and pick. I will always stick up for the underdog. I just always have been like that. Pierogies are the best. They're so fattening, though. It's like all carbs. Like, it's super. And then she used to fry up bacon and onions, and then she would put it all on top of the pierogies, and then she'd put sour cream on the table. It was so freaking good. She has accused him of stalking her for 2 years. Yeah, right. He's married. Why would he stalk someone like that? What, she thinks she is, like a supermodel or something? Whatever. I don't see it. I mean, what, she stayed in her bed for like 2 years. Did she ever get up out of her bed ever when she was faking cancer? And from what I understand, because I went to that channel today, that Pandora's box opening or whatever, and I watched all those videos on there. Oh my God. I had forgotten half the stuff that she had done. Had bad photo, big mouth, chubby cheeks. Good evening. Good evening. I mean, I just can't believe some people just, you know, they won't. I'm over here minding my own business. I don't bother people. I can say what I want on my panel. I have this freedom of speech. If they want to be doxers and go real life and dox people and they get called out on it, oh well, that's too bad. I've made Pandora mad. She's yelling at me for being in here. What's she gonna do if Richard comes on my panel? She's gonna have a heart attack. I make my pierogies with potatoes. Oh, I like it with potatoes and cheese. My grandmother used to make it with cottage cheese, but I prefer the potatoes and cheese. Potatoes and cheese are like the best. Do you make them from scratch, Diana? Oh, is she streaming me? Because I'll strike her ass. Hey, Star Wars agent. Oh, thank you. Yes, I will always support you. And you're welcome to come on my panel anytime. But Richard isn't. She's reading my chat. What is she yelling at you because you're in here? Oh, loser. Oh, is that your name, Miller? Hi, Miller. I must say your videos are quite interesting. I must say, I'm learning a lot, like about a whole different community on here, and it really interests me, to be honest with you. Now she's fat shaming me. She should talk. What's she like, 250 pounds? I don't think she should be fat shaming anybody. Tell her to turn her camera on. Don't think she should be fat shaming anybody. You know what I mean? Well, I don't have to go into other people's chat to see who's there because I really don't give a crap. This is funny. I know, right? My husband, sometimes he listens, when I'm streaming, I suggest you quit while you're ahead, Pandora. Um, my husband will listen, when I go live, and he'll be laughing his head off. He'll like, who are these people? Because he's like shaking his head the whole time. Like he would never, ever, like he's so private. He would never like, but I mean, he knows that I go live every morning. I'm recording her on my laptop and watching you on my phone. Oh, well, I'm glad you came in here, Spoofer. Where's Angie been? I haven't seen her go live in a while. I miss her. I really like Angie. Here's the thing with Angie, and I know they've been like horrible to her too. Angie's been like a sweet to me, nice person. If she's, you know what? Who cares what people say, like in private messages? If you're gonna blast that on YouTube because you just want to bully someone and make fun of their looks, make fun of their weight, then you're a loser. You already lost the you lost the war. She's on vacation. Oh, is she? Good for her. I hope she's having a great time. I just I I guess my big thing is, guys, is if I see someone getting bullied and someone going after someone relentlessly, I feel for that person. And I always go for the underdog. I do. I always have. That's been always my thing. Maybe because that's how I was raised, like, to stay away from bullies or stand up for people that are bullies. And for me, Pandora's never changed. She hasn't changed. She was a bully then, she's a bully now. She's just a big fat bully. If she could get out of bed long enough, you always been a kind soul, Carla. I try to be, um, I just don't like the bullying. I don't like racism. I don't like, people that are racist. I don't like people that you know, and I looked at that site that Miller guy posted on his channel. I actually went there and read some of the posts on there, and I was like, oh my God, so disgusted. Like, why anybody would want to even participate in that kind of a place is beyond me. And I mean, I really did. I read some of the comments and I was like, no, that's not for me. And the people that participate, Carla, she drugged me hour after hour for days of live streams. She lies on me constantly. She also released our private communication and discussed my family multiple times. I thought she didn't like people going real life, Evelyn. So she goes real life then, correct? That's terrible. I love to cook old fashioned. Yeah, I like to cook too. Believe it or not, I have a life apart from you. Richard is attacking your avatar. Good for him. Oh, poor baby. Does he want a bubba? Because I can give him a bubba. At least I don't live in filth. Spoof, did she go real life on me? I guess like going real life, to me, going real life is, you know, doxing someone, I guess, is going real life. If she's doxing someone on her channel, she's going real life. I would say yes, Carla. Yes, yes, it is. That is real life. Has she done that? That's pretty disgusting. Hmm. I thought they, I thought they were against that. And why did they send their little minions in here to white knight for them? Can't they do something? Can't they take care of their own business? I'm sorry they did that to you, Evelyn. Evelyn, you used to come into my streams. What happened? Back in the day, she brought up personal info about her daughter. If I'm correct, Evelyn, don't you work in a hospital or something, or in a clinic? I think you said that. I'm not trying to dox you or anything, but I think you did say that one time, or I could be wrong. I sometimes get people mixed up, what they've shared on here. She brought up personal info about her daughter. Who did? Pandora did. That's pretty shitty. I thought those people were against doxing and going real life. I'm a social. Oh, yes. I remembered that. I remember you saying that because I think we were talking about like, uh, I think we were talking about mental illness, and you were participating in the chat, and you had said you were really giving us some insight. She brought up personal info about her relationship as well. Pandora goes real life all the time. Has she not learned her lesson? Well, and I have nothing against people that want to be around that kind of a person, but just stay away from my channel. Stay away from me. I'm not going to give you a platform on my channel. You know what I mean? And they can make fun of me all they want. It means nothing. She doesn't have dirt on me, so she lied and said my husband was bisexual. Now, spoofer, you said that today. That's so stupid. I think we were discussing defunding the police. Oh, yeah, that's right. You remember. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Yes. I always liked you, Evelyn. Um, never dox you. I hope you believe me and others now. Why were they saying that someone, were they blaming, they were doxing people and blaming it on someone else? That's so young. Get your own content, bed slug. Stay away from my channel. We don't care about you. Nobody cares about you. No one cares about you over here. Nobody's going to support your crap. Actually, a lot of people on YouTube know about what she did and don't know why she even has the gall to be back on here and how she has supporters. I mean, I don't know what you guys know about what she did. She basically scammed a whole community, said she had cancer, faked it, lied about it, and people are supposed to believe a liar? Nothing she says can be believed now. You know what I mean? Goodness. I'm going to call you Chubby Cheeks because your name is too long. She encouraged Richard to use my other channel name and bandit pictures after she learned I suddenly lost him to cancer. Oh, that's your dog, right? So he was trolling you with your dead dog? Wow. Dirty, dirty. Hello, mud mower. If you're a troll, please go away. If you're not, welcome. I'm sorry. He was a service dog. Aw, I'm sorry you lost your dog. For months, my name was spoken as though it was a profanity. Evelyn, I honestly don't know what happened, but I'm sorry that happened to you. You're right, Jam. You're right. Please block that person, her, if she comes in here. I don't want her anywhere near here. I have no interest in someone like that. Low life. It was all driven by hurt and fear and misunderstanding. Were you friends with her? Like, I don't understand how these people find out all this information. What do? They they just look you up. You were fed false information on my speech now. That's why I have a small, really tiny Discord, and the people in there are super reliable, super um super discreet, and that's how it's going to stay. I don't want anybody else in my Discord because it's just once you start adding people, you're just asking for trouble. I hope that, I hope that everything's okay now, Evelyn. I really do. I just, I don't like to see people hurt. I just don't like to see it. I have to figure out what I'm going to be doing my giveaway. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I have to figure out what I'm going to be giving away. I just sent my husband. I just sent my son $500 for his birthday. What do you what do you get a grown up for his birthday? Money. Chubs and Spoof, I just ask that you give me a chance. I know that you've heard bad things about me, and I understand why, but I am not a bad person. Mass Spoofer says, clean slate, Evelyn. That's what I like to see. But here's the thing about the clean slate, to a point. But if someone, like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, to a point. I mean, if someone exhibits the same behavior over and over and over and over and never changes and just keeps up doing, the crap that they've been doing for 2.5 years, then at some point you just have to say that person needs to go. The story starts like this. There once were 3 friends. Their names were Angie, Gary, and Jeff. I um I like Angie. I really do. You have a valid point, Carla. I don't know Gary or Jeff. I must admit that I don't know the those people over there, that group over there, Gary and Jeff, I don't know. I think I've seen them in her chat, in Angie's chat. She's good at convincing people. Oh, she hasn't changed. Carla, I like Angie too, but that's how the story goes. Maybe one of these days we could just talk about why I have no tolerance for that analyzer. She basically screwed a whole community over. Then she gets you to trust her, so you tell her your secrets. Wow. That's one thing I will never do. Jeff is my best friend. He used to be best friends with Angie and Gary. Okay. Then when I think Angie is pretty reasonable. I think she just wants people just to leave her alone, to be honest with you. They bullied her and bullied her and bullied her. I don't and no matter what she did, they went after her. Then when they get so triggered so fast. I stuck up for someone and I had a video made about me. A loser. Can I come up, Carla? You can ask questions and think between Spoofer, Evelyn, and I can answer questions. Sure. Surely. The link is at the top. I pinned it. Yeah, maybe you can answer some questions because I really don't have a clue what's going on, to be honest with you. The only thing I know is that the whole thing with Analyzer. And I just find that she's just a bully. We have acknowledged that there is hurt there, deep hurt, resulting from the end of long and close friendship between those three. Yeah, I sense a lot of hurt with Angie. I really do. And them laughing about it just made me just despise them. I do you need another link? But we have acknowledged there's hurt there, deep hurt resulting from the end of the long. Yeah, I that's what I see in Angie. I see a lot of hurt. And I think it's sad. I really do. I I don't like to see people hurting. Does somebody need do you oh there she is. Add string. Hi. Hello. Look at that cute puppy. Can
Hi,
you hear
Carla.
me?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? How are you? I'm
Do
good.
you
How are
have
you? I'm
do you
good.
have YouTube? Do you have YouTube
Can you
on?
hear me? Let me turn that off. Hold on.
I
Okay.
think you've got your YouTube going in the
There we
background.
go. I turned it off.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I really don't know the I mean, I know Angie from I mean, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like I know Analyzer from the faked cancer days, and I really have zero tolerance for yeah, yeah, I don't like her. So anything you can tell me, I mean, anything you can um
Well,
enlighten me
yeah.
with would
Well,
be
if you remember,
appreciated.
I used to be the account that has Bandit's picture on it was because he was a service dog. So I went by Simple Me and Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like you, an OG back in the analyzer's days,
Mm-hmm.
and was rather shocked with how everything came about. And I just kind of watched on and off through the years to see what would happen and some of the shenanigans that she's pulled. And
Mm-hmm.
she definitely, there was a part of me that really hoped that she would get her shit together and could be, the mother and what have you. And I'll probably get slammed for talking about this, but I watched for patterns with her, and her channel would disappear. Her anger would get upset with certain times. Now we know some things are public knowledge, and she would always talk about that she had court dates or something coming up. So it wasn't hard to figure out, the outcomes based on how she is. She would get
Right.
very upset. You can tell when she's not bothered or when she's irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried one time. She went live, and I went in there trying to talk to her. I figured, okay, well, I'll try to be nice and see if I can get anywhere. Well, right off the bat, she started cursing at me, swearing up and down that I was Kansas City Lights, and no matter what account that I came under, she would always know. And I just,
Why? Can I ask you a question?
sure.
Why does she have such a hard on for Kansas City Lights?
Well, let me turn
I
this
mean,
fan.
okay. He just, I mean, I've known him for maybe 3 years on
I
here.
know, I
He's
know.
never been anything but kind and nice and good. And I just, I don't understand what her problem is.
Well, for one, she likes to say that he's not married. It's a fake wife.
Yeah,
Now,
what is up with that?
well, she tries to say that he was a stalker and he sent her flowers one time. And there was even one night when she swore up and down, she pinged his phone and he was at the end of the street. He was coming to her house.
Oh, please.
Yeah. So,
Give me a break.
Yeah, and there was a bump on the wall, and she was asking everybody, "Did you hear that?" And then she went off the air
You
suddenly.
do know that Kansas City Lights did a video talking about interracial marriage with his wife, don't you?
Yes, I do. I remember him back from chat in the analyzers.
So his wife is not fake.
No. And it's very upsetting for him for her to sit there and say, well, everybody needs to listen to her, that she knows for a fact it's a fake wife and because of these things and as a
Well,
woman.
she's a fake cancer survivor, so yeah.
Right. And see, he tries to tell her all he wants from her is to admit, because she's put up a video one time where she claimed that she was cooking chicken when she was trying to impress Miller, and it turned out she took it from somebody else's site. So there's been a lot of stories. Even the miscarriage story is true.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I had forgotten about that.
yeah.
I
And
had forgotten about that.
well, see, at the time Kelly was in the hospital, or Sweet Wheat was in the hospital. Oops, I did not. I talked her off, so I did not mean to dox her. But she was so upset in one of her videos that I reached out to her. Now I'm saying this because for some reason, Analyzer wants to think that Kelly has masterminded all this stuff and Kelly's behind it, and that's not the case. Um, I reached out to her because she sounded very upset, and with the new laws on medications, when you're in the hospital going through surgery, they don't give you medications like they used to. They give you a pill, and then sometimes they only give you ibuprofen or Tylenol.
That's right.
So she had dislocated her hip and she was in a lot of pain. And Lisa had basically, oh, see, she's going to yell at me for that one. But there was a video where she don't care if people calls her Lisa, Michelle, or Pandora. So let me go back to calling her
I
Analyzer.
remember people calling her Michelle.
Yeah. And
A
she
lot
does.
of people did.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was one video when
A
she
big
said,
whoop. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh yes, there was a video where she says depending on her mood will depend on what she's called. So I'm going to stick with the analyzer because that's
I
how
will
I
stick
know.
with anal, but she's an asshole.
Well, exactly. And a lot of us wanted to see her change because she lost a lot, and because the Chris Watts case came to an
She
end.
lost a lot because of herself, though, because of her
Right.
own nastiness.
Right. She had quite the following until Chris Watts pleaded. He entered that plea deal. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, what am I going to do with my channel? Well, there was other crime cases she could have covered. She just chose not to and went down the avenue on saying that she had cancer and then crying online about what was going to happen to her son. He was going to be alone, and she had a lot of support then. And then John Crimes showed the IV bag and that it wasn't what we all thought it was, and it wasn't the
I
date.
remember that.
Yeah, I had to go back and I had to apologize because I defended her. I said there was no reason why anybody should have to prove their illness, especially nowadays. And boy, did I feel like a fool when it came out because I wasn't online all the time. I came back when she was looking for critters. She had just come home from the hospital. I didn't even know there was a community page to follow anybody. That tells you how much I knew about YouTube. And
Spoofer, I don't care. Too bad, so sad.
yeah, so there was that part where when I found all this out, it was like, oh my god, I sent her emails trying to give her support because she, if you remember, she would ask a lot of people, well, how do you suffer from these things? Email me, share this information.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And can you imagine how many of us felt absolutely foolish that here we provided somebody who was actually faking cancer, crying that she didn't know she was going to be here around Christmas time, and she didn't want
Ugh.
to tell her son until after Christmas. And then it was like after Christmas, uh, Critters was putting on a community post because Analyzer
And
pretended.
didn't she fake her own death, too?
Yes, to Bonnie, she sure did, and she said
And
the
had
reason.
someone fake being her mother?
Oh no, she was her mother. She used her
Oh,
own
she did
phone,
it?
pretending to
Oh,
be her
God.
own mother, and said that they came over and they found her dad with a pillow over her face. And the reason that she did this was because Bonnie was telling her that she loved her, and it made her feel uncomfortable. Now, as friends, when we have a friend that's in dire straits, we want them to feel support. We want them to know that they're loved, and that's
Mhm.
what Bonnie was doing, because so many people decided, that we're done with you. You lied to us. You played this game. You brought
Mhm.
your son into this. The worst thing that you could do. And do you remember when she went to go pick up her son and had him
Yep.
read that? Well, do you know recently she told me on a panel with Angie that she used somebody else's son or somebody else's
Get
child?
out.
Oh, no, I'm
Get
not kidding.
out.
You can go back on Angie's
Oh
panel
my
and see that.
God.
Yeah, and I told her that was
Oh,
even
she's such
worse.
a low life.
Well, she goes, that was his stepbrother. Now, wait a minute. His stepbrother was older, but she's saying this child was younger, and that wasn't her son because her son didn't have a speech impediment. Why should you be ashamed of your son?
Wow.
So that just really blew my
God,
mind. And yeah,
she's just a piece of work.
well, she
She's
told
a
not
piece of
Joan.
trash.
Yeah, she told not Joan of Arc. She goes, my son was safe. I protected my son. And that, I don't think she understood, made her look worse. She has to keep lying about the past. And there's a lot of us that are, why do you have to keep lying about it? A lot of us want you to move on and we want to see you be successful, but you keep being your own worst enemy.
Right.
At one point, I was not Joan of Arc. I've been Under the Dome. I've been KCL, maybe Joan, quite a few.
Wasn't not Joan of Arc her friend?
Well,
That not
now
Joan
she
of
is.
Arc was an asshole to me. She
Yeah,
can go to hell.
yeah, now she is. But see, we were never friends. We were never on the same team. For her to sit there and say, well, when we were on the same team, everything was good. I only had a
Right.
few interactions with not Joan of Arc. And there was one night when, YouTube screws up. You can't see your channel, you can't see your videos or anything.
Mhm.
And she was freaking out. She, whatever it is, decided that their channel was gone, but yet they were talking to me. And I told them, no, I see your channel. But it was more of an acquaintance. I was never on a team with not Joan of Arc. I was never friends with not Joan of Arc. So where they come from with that mentality is kind of confusing. I
Can
looked
I
at
just
that.
clear something up?
Sure.
Nobody told me to go live tonight. I do go live at night every once in a while because I feel like it. If they came into my chat, oh well, you guys don't like it over there, whoever's streaming me right now, you can get stuffed. Um, they can come in here anytime they want.
Yeah. Well, Carla, do you know
Okay.
that I'm accused of interfering with Analyzer's divorce and her family? And
Oh,
I
good.
didn't do any of that. All I did,
Why does she think she's got this self-importance thing going on? Why does she think she's that important that everyone wants to mess with her life?
yeah.
Like she's not important enough. She should be gone actually. If I did what she did, I would be so ashamed of myself. I would be off of YouTube. I would never show my face again. She has no shame.
I don't have those answers for you. All that I ever did was when we were all talking in a group, and this is a group of people that had been affected by Analyzer. And yes, Richard Groper was part of this group at that time. And no, he never did reel any of us in like he claims. He actually provided a lot more information on Evelyn, Jeff, and wanted us to go after them. And at
What
one
do you mean that he went real life or he
Um,
doxed people?
he did. He wanted to go real life on Evelyn and Jeff. He was already
So he's
after.
a real lifer. So
Yeah,
he came into my chat this morning and said, I support people that go real life. So Richard is someone that goes real life. So
yes.
I don't support you, Richard. So I guess I don't support people that go real life.
And see, I never went real
How
life.
about that?
All I did was, you know how you can look up any kind of a court document and you can see who's all involved in that. That's all I was ever guilty of posting in chat because we
Mhm.
were talking about the different things. And then one person was actually accused uh, of doing things and they didn't. And what people have to understand is you can't send information to a judge. It has to be sent to an attorney. Then the attorney enters it, and then her attorney also gets that information before it's entered into court. And this is around the time that they were finalizing the divorce and stuff. And I'm accused of interfering with her family and her divorce, which I never contacted anybody. I never spoke to anybody. All I did was look at what was public information on a website about court dockets. And that was it. And she was the one that kept
If it's
saying,
public information, then it's public information. It's not doxing.
right. And see, I
That's like
started watching.
them saying that looking someone up on Facebook is doxing. That's not doxing.
See,
You
I
can
didn't even
anybody
do
can
that.
look anybody up on Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't even do that. I didn't look her up on Facebook. I didn't look her up on any other social medias. It was just explaining that there was a pattern in not wanting to see her get hurt. And then when Richard had his falling out with Angie, he decided that he was going to go back over and give all this information and make it look like he was trying to reel us back in. Now, when he made his comments, his wife would come in later and say, "Oh, he was only joking. You guys need to understand his sense of humor." And it was like,
No, you don't have to understand that.
well, we all stopped basically talking at that point because it was pretty bad. It was like, now this has gone too far, and all of us was very uncomfortable with it.
Mhm.
And with her having the child, the CPS called on her, and how many different people in this drama community has had that happen because someone's been unhappy with them. So we were talking
A
about that,
few.
right? And then Kate Crowley is a common name in this drama community, is it not?
What is?
Kate Crowley.
I'm not sure. I don't know that name.
Well, see, the only reason I know it is from watching different creators, and that was the individual's name that was used on Angie when they called all her stuff in. And then Richard was wanting to know, where's all this proof? Well, we're in the midst of a pandemic. And if you go to the site of in her state, it states that it takes longer for everything to happen. And then even on any kind of a call, it takes 60 to 120 days to receive an official letter that it was an unfounded call. And, so
Right.
there was that conflict going on there. And then being she didn't have the information he wanted, he still went live, which didn't make any sense. I would have waited, would have waited. I even told him, Analyzer had this happen to her. How many welfare calls did she have called on her back in the day? Carla, do you remember?
A few.
Yeah. And I told him, I says, why don't you go talk to her? Because she would be a good person. Then I mentioned a couple other creators in the community that I knew that he could talk to. And, this way he could get a feel for how it really upset a family. It is not something
Right.
anybody wants. And then
Right.
apparently there was some sort of misunderstanding, and information then was being taken out of our Discord, and it was taken out and it was only used to make us all look very bad as compared to the fact that there was voice chat going on at that time. And then if we were providing information or making silly little comments off to the side, that part
But
was
that
always
wasn't in private, right? That was
right.
that
It
was
was
in a
private.
Discord.
Yeah, it was private. But
So
Richard said he was reeling us back in because we were going real life and we had other targets we were going real life on. And that wasn't true. Evelyn and Jeff were made to believe
so
that
he
we
just
were going,
wanted to start trouble,
right,
basically.
right. Evelyn and Jeff were made to believe that we were going after them.
And
And
he's going to the right place to start trouble. He's going
yes,
to the person that loves the drama,
yes,
that lives for it.
yep,
Analyzer accuses me of being a victim, everything to everyone in everything. Almost exactly her words, because I've been sharing the pain she caused me. So I have something I want to say. You want to come up here, Evelyn?
Oh, Evelyn, please come up. This way you and I
You
actually,
can come up if you want.
yeah. Because I even went to Evelyn and Jeff at one time, and this is before Richard even left the Discord, and I told her protect your real life. There's somebody meddling in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they would think about it, talk it over, and I left it at that. I wasn't over there bugging them or in their ear or anything like that. And it's just one thing that you have to be so careful of, is that there's always his side, her side, and somewhere in between, the truth. And I watched Evelyn from the time that she entered in Analyzers. I didn't watch every video, but I did see where she was being a friend, and some of that stuff. And she likes to, not Evelyn, but Analyzer likes to put her thumb over people. And if she can hold things against you, she will. It's just like with Sweet Wheat. She's constantly saying that she's doing this or she's doing that, or she threatened her or
I
threatened to
think her
do.
whole channel is to bully people.
Yeah.
Like, is that her whole, or to tear friendships apart? Is that her whole goal? Is that what she lives for?
I don't know what her goal is. I don't know
I mean,
if
is she not happy with her own life?
I know divorce is hard. It's hard for anybody. And we all been, those
Yeah,
of
but
us
all of us have been through it. Most of
right.
us have been through it, and we don't destroy other people.
Right. We don't live our life out on YouTube, and
No.
when I got a chance for a brief moment to talk to Lisa, and I mean, I lost my cool, because I told her, how could you allow Richard to go up on your channel using Bandit's picture and my name? And he was slurring his words, because I'm partially deaf. So there's times my speech is not so good. And she goes, well, I had him do that. And it was like, that's even worse, and she knew that I lost Bandit suddenly to cancer. In 48 hours, my world was turned upside down.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was going to come out and I was going to let everybody know that I lost Bandit. And I was going to let everybody know that I was also a bad photo of Chubby Cheeks. So when she did her little thing, it didn't bother me, because I'm not hiding behind a different account. The videos that I have made, I've taken them from her own chats and used them that way. And sometimes I just wanted her to see how it looked, see what other people see, and maybe something would click. But to tell her, I wanted to see her to turn around and kind of have a better life as compared to what's playing out here on YouTube, she'll never listen to that.
No, she has no empathy.
Yeah. And I've made good friends with Angie. I've made good friends with Spoofer.
I love Angie. I really do. I mean, I don't know her as well as you guys do. Obviously, you guys are more, you're more friendly with it, but I always loved her. And I thought her and Richard were like good friends. And I thought it was a great friendship. And then all of a sudden, he's over there with Analyzer, just tearing her down, just dragging the enamel off her teeth, like he was making fun of her looks, her channel, I mean, just horrible stuff. And I'm like, wow, I don't understand this. I don't understand how people can be like that.
Well, you can imagine how it
had to have hurt her.
Yeah, because Angie, right after the CPS happened, her husband's father had passed away, and then within a short period of time of that, he lost his sister in a fire. So she was dealing with.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, she was dealing with that. And then with Dominic being autistic, she was dealing with him trying to understand how somebody could want to take his mom and his dad away. And he was literally afraid that they were going to come in and take them away, because when they came out, they separated him from Angie and they wanted to talk directly to him alone. Well, that's not normal for Dominic. A lot of us, when we've been through that, we know that they take kids. And so Dominic's mind is that they think my mom and dad are hurting me and they're going to take me away. So for a
Mhm.
while he was very scared, and there was nights that I did talk with Angie, and Dominic was up and he couldn't go to sleep because he was afraid that if he woke up in the morning, his mom and dad would have been taken to jail. So this is what it did to him. And here's Angie trying to support him, and then out of the blue, uh, her husband's father dies, and she's trying to handle all this, and then the fire happened and she lost her sister-in-law, so she's dealing with two estates, and helping her husband cope and deal, and then trying to help Dominic understand because he just met his aunt after grandpa had died. And
Mhm.
all of a sudden now, after CPS and the death of understanding grandpa's gone, his aunt is gone. So he was really struggling with those thoughts of why is it so cruel?
Wow. And then Evelyn says, I have been in the DC for almost 4 years, and I was able to steer clear of this kind of stuff until the last year. The last year has been hell. It's been one thing after another. Wow. I just don't get it.
It's hard to understand. None of us can
It is.
understand, and there was where Angie.
So can I ask you another question? Sorry,
Sure,
I
go
didn't mean
ahead.
to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Okay, this other person that's got a channel that Star Wars is it Star Wars Agent or something?
Yes.
What's that story there? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, I
From
mean,
what
what
I
is?
know as an observer, there was at one point where she had met Spoofer and got introduced to, I know Ms. Miller, to Miller, and they were doing karaoke. And I guess Analyzer had developed some feelings for him, and there was a lot of drama always around her. One of the first things she told him was that she had a stalker and trolls. So the stalker had to be made more realistic. So she talked about KLC. She would text them. She sent him emails. I do have copies of that. And, it was out of the blue. Do you miss me? And he's like, who in the hell is this? And she goes, you know who this is. You love me, don't you? And,
Oh my God, really?
oh, yeah. And
And
he had,
did he return the feelings or
no, he didn't
no?
return the feelings. He at one time offered to help her out, because that's what him and his wife do. And so, but they were doing the karaoke things. And at one time, Miller decided that there was too much drama. He took a break. When he came back, Analyzer decided to take up that her feelings were more than what they were. She even said at one time she had met him, that he came to spend time with her around Valentine's Day, and there was all that was going on. And when you watched a live with him, he basically was telling her, how he loves you and he cares a lot about you. And I think you guys would make a good couple, but you and I are only going to be friends. So he kind of friend zoned her quite a few times. And as a woman, that hurts our feelings when those
Oh,
aren't
of course,
returned to
yeah.
us. And so she would lash out at him. She even went in one time and he was drinking and tried to convince him that she was able to hack into YouTube and unblock herself because she's got these mad computer skills.
Jeez.
Yeah. So,
So she doesn't deal with rejection well.
right. And then, it was like she needed to get rid of Spoofer, because him and Spoofer was friends. Well, that was automatically a threat because him and Spoofer had been friends for a long time. So anybody that he was close to, she didn't want him close to. And she even at one time had an individual that was helping her with all the information of his online presence. So she knew everything that she could possibly know about him to be accepted. She wanted to interview Heather Wade. She wanted to interview Gwen. She wanted to be part of his life, but he wasn't returning those same feelings for her. And
Well, I wonder why.
yeah, I do think it kind of hurt, him at her and him, so this last time when he left, automatically, it's like with KLC, you always knew when KLC was coming back was when she started talking about him, because he would leave. He would say, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. And he would leave YouTube. He was fine. He was happy. Well, she would start contacting him again, and he would come back into YouTube to defend himself. What man is wanting to be told that?
Can you blame him?
No, I
Doing
can't.
it like day after day after. How many times a day does she go live? Like 5 times a day?
I've lost
To just
count.
to just bash people?
Yeah,
Like, what the hell is her deal?
yeah, I haven't watched her as much as she likes to think I am, because with the new pup, I have a lot of training going on, and there's just some things that if she would just allow them to naturally happen, she would be a lot better off. But she has to be in control. She has to be pushing it. And by telling Miller she had a stalker, she had to bring KLC back to YouTube to prove to Miller that she had a stalker. Now, this is me as an outside
She's trying to
observer.
make him jealous. She's trying to make him jealous.
Yeah. Well, Howie, you've got to remember, Howie really cared for her, and he was her ride hard or die ride, so to speak, person. And now he's kind of sitting out on the outskirts, and it's one of those things that she's got to make each guy jealous. And we had a conversation with Jeff not too long ago, and I told him ahead of time, I says, now I'm going to tell you, based on the patterns that I watched her, how predictable she is, and she's going to bring Miller back up. And sure as shit, Miller was brought back into the story.
Wow. So she actually likes this Miller guy.
Yeah. She
and
does.
she's trying to make him jealous by saying that she's getting stalked. So she's lying.
Right.
Basically, she hasn't changed. She's
Right.
still the same lying snake she was before.
Right, because if any of us having a stalker, we're not going to contact them. We're not going to send them emails. We're not going to text them. We wouldn't even recognize them on a platform.
No.
So that was the part that didn't make very much sense. And, here she was, well, everybody needs to know I'm the one that lived all this. And, then she told everybody her shoe size, and then she puts it out there. Well, now everybody knows my shoe size. She enjoyed the attention she got by playing a victim, just like she enjoyed the attention she got when she did the cancer scam. And that went on from the middle of November till almost in January, when all this stuff came out.
Till she got busted, yeah.
Yeah. And then
John Primes busted her.
Well, other people started looking into it, and she even sent texts to critters claiming to be Steve, that they came in and they found her passed out in the kitchen. She was rushed to the hospital. She was in ICU. She was having ischemic heart attacks. They didn't know she was going to make it. Her father couldn't donate bone marrow, but her son miraculously on that day was found to be a match. And Steve was supposed to, remember, Lisa's playing Steve. Steve said that he could hear his son screaming bloody murder when they were taking bone marrow to save her life. Well, miraculously, she's home a couple days later. And, well, the insurance wouldn't keep paying for it. Or she, it was her agoraphobic. She had 1,000,001 reasons why she was suddenly home all of a sudden. Well, that's when everything started to hit that she never had cancer. And that's when she was like, critter bug, where's my critter bug? I don't know what's going on. I don't understand this. I'm just so weak. All the germs and yeah.
Oh.
I was sitting there because I didn't know what was going on. It was like, what the hell? And when I listened to all of it, it was like, oh my God, she faked all this. And I do know some more of the facts behind the scenes because I've gotten to talk to various people, and I kind of sit there with my mouth hanging to the ground, sitting there. There's no way that this can stop. And now she basically
She's
tries.
She's not going to change, that's for sure.
No. And,
she's not going to change. And anybody that thinks that she has changed, you're fooling yourself. She's just she's for herself. She wants to destroy people, destroy friendships, and that's what she's about.
Right. And see, Evelyn was an innocent person that came into her chat. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, Evelyn and Dana didn't get along, and that Michelle used to her advantage. I do feel as an outsider,
Mhm.
and that got things worse. And there was just different things watching all these people come and go when I just, like I say, my mouth was hanging to the floor, like, how much more can this get worse? And now, she even tried to say that she acted crazy all those times when the police came to her house because she was a domestic violent person and she was trying to get arrested to get out of that house. Now, remember back then, she told us she had family in the sheriff's department.
Mhm.
And so they all knew that we were in the wrong and they were looking at all of us. They were investigating all of us. But now she
Right.
claims that she was a victim and she did all this stuff trying to get out of the house. Well, how many times was she live back then and Steve was at work or he had to suddenly work a third shift? I feel so bad for Evelyn. I really do.
Yeah, sounds like she's been through a lot.
She
Hi,
has.
Dana.
She did just like what Sweet Week did.
What? I heard she was sending out cease and desist letters to people. She should go make more potato salad and hang out with her family more.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my gosh.
she's supposed to be suing some of us too, and then they're
For
supposed.
what?
Well,
She's the one who's doing all the nonsense.
we
All you
all.
have to do, like, all her streams have been recorded, so it's all the stuff that she's done is all up there.
Yeah, and
So
recently,
good luck.
they've even tried to direct that we were racist in our Discord.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we've gone from targeting people and trying to interfere in court cases, which none of us was doing, to actually trying to go after people's kids. And then there was a couple conversations. You know how people will say, "Hey, I went to the
Hmm.
hairdresser. They told me about my son's daughter." So we were looking up, and there was a solvent citizen, and we were looking that up, and we were all discussing that. Well, all of a sudden, that was turned around that we were going to police that, and it's like, why is he taking and turning all these things around to make it look
Like
like,
what is his deal?
well, he says that he was reeling everybody in. Now he's saying he was doing the same thing over on Rabini Gab, that they're all racist over there. And he went over there that, hey, you guys are too racist. You need to tone it down. And they kicked him out.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I
So,
watched some of those streams. It was just disgusting.
yeah. And
Things that he said.
well,
He can't push that on someone else.
no. And that's something that he's got to deal with, is that he already made his reputation before all this came along.
Yeah,
And
I
to turn
know.
around,
That was long ago. I mean, hey Dana, how you
Dana,
doing?
hi. I wish to get Dana up here. She's a sweetie.
She can come up. She's always welcome.
Yeah.
I like Dana. I always liked Dana, even when it wasn't popular to like Dana. I liked her.
Oh,
I
she's a
always found
wonderful
that she was a
person.
sweetheart.
Yes.
Dana, if you want to come up, you can come up. I'm just getting the 411 on everything.
Did you get a cease and desist orders for real, Evelyn, if I may ask?
What is she going to do with a cease and desist? She has to prove, like, for a cease and desist, like, don't they have to prove some kind of loss of income or something?
Yeah. Super Serial is asking, Carla, how did you get drug into this mess?
I think, oh, I know what it was. I guess I heard something about Kansas City Light I had heard that they were dragging Kansas City Lights, and I like him. Because like I said, I've known him for, oh, I heard this is how. I heard that someone was saying that analyzer was saying that Kansas City Lights doesn't have a wife. And I'm like talking to Samara and I'm saying, wait a minute. He does so have a wife. I saw a video where he did a video on interracial marriage. And so I said that, and it pissed me off a little bit. So I said it on my, I guess I was I went live in the morning and I was saying, and he was in my live and I'm like, I know you, you have a wife and you're welcome in here. And I mean, he's always been a good guy. He's never caused any problem. He's never been racist. He's never said, so why would I, not support someone like that?
Right.
So,
Well, it's said that okay, this is really combobulated. It's excuse my language. It's a bunch of fuckery. So we go from Angie being the lead person to KLC being the financer behind all this to Sweet to being the mastermind. So
Jesus.
yeah, it gets rather combobulated.
Yeah.
But now it is said that we are all over here in the drama community trying to slander Analyzer's good name so nobody
Good
will
name.
talk about her story that she's put out to 3 big drama people and ask them to cover the story because this evil Discord group, which I'm part of, has interfered in her life and tried to harm her child, and we need to be exposed. So I'm telling all you guys now where it went. There was never any of us talking to any of the judges, the lawyers, or any of that. She says we sent thumbnails, that we talked to people, we wrote letters. That just never happened. Nobody wants to get involved in something that messy. And a lot of us wanted to actually see her turn around and, have made improvement from where she was when all this started. So
Evelyn says, no, Pandora threatened to send me a cease and desist if I didn't stop defending myself by addressing the many lies she said about me.
yeah,
Oh, well, good luck with that, Analyzer.
Yeah. Well, she's always got those messages and she's going to expose them. And it was like on some of the ones that she did with Sweet Wheat. Sweet Wheat had already sent me copies of them, and there was some missing. Now, trying to let a lot of this die down, I don't take all that information and put it out there because it doesn't need to be there. This is only dragging this on and more stories. There was at one time KLC was supposed to have called and talked to her son. She swore up and down he called and talked to her son. It never happened. Now she says that he suggested. And then he also talked to Steve, her husband. Oh, excuse me. Analyzer's husband. I don't mean to dox or use names. I'm just used to talking to people that are aware of all these names. And if you were around back
Well, you're
then,
saying a first name. Like, how many Steves are there in the world?
yeah.
Like,
Well,
you know.
she told us his name back in the day. She talked about him all the time, so we knew what her husband's name was. And
Right.
that's where she'll sit there and say, no, bad photo is doxing me, and she interfered with me, and she did this and she did that. No, all I did was show there was a pattern when she was hurting, when she was mad, when she was upset, because it was a repetitive pattern that happened.
Right.
So
Pandora doesn't have my permission to release my private communication with her. But if she does, she will only become 100% clear to everyone just how much of a liar she is. She is a liar.
I don't understand why she has to go on lives and sit there and, well, I want this person to know this and I want this person to know that, when none of us knew any of this stuff was going on until she goes lives, and she's the one that is putting the information out there, and it's only the information the way that she wants us to perceive it. It's not factual.
Right.
And with
Well, that's like her saying that you guys all forced me to go live tonight. I did it because I was bored, to be honest with you. I mean, I had nothing planned to talk about, but I mean, you're here. Might
Right.
as well get the 411. I mean, I kind of got drawn into it because I go into Angie's all the time. And I kind of like, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I just knew bits and pieces. And I started, just looking for myself. And what I saw, I wasn't liking. And what I heard, I wasn't liking. When they were like going after her, the horrible things they were saying about her.
There was never no bounty out on Analyzer's head. Um, it was worded that way in Discord, and Angie said, "No, I don't want it worded that way." First, she laughed about it and thought it was kind of funny, and then she says, "No," she says, "because then it makes it more of a that I want to physically hurt her."
Hmm.
And we would hear her son a lot of the time talking, and her son pays attention to a lot and he can understand a lot. I've never seen such an intelligent, well grounded young man, and he could even go tell her, how he was feeling, and Angie would excuse herself and take care of whatever she needed to take
Hmm.
care of with him.
Yeah,
You know,
she's a good mother.
oh, she's a very good mother. She's actually with him this week. So it's
Mhm.
a good thing, I wish I could tell you more, but I don't want her to be mad at me because
Oh
I don't
no,
know
that's
what.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I hope she's getting a well-needed rest away from this place because they went after her relentlessly, and I did not like what I was hearing.
Well, see, Richard thinks he's owed certain things. And one thing that she did tell it, because he goes, "Well, I want to see the police record and I want to get this cleared up." Angie did come into the group. We did talk about it in voice because there was no way of knowing who placed that false report. They could not make a police report. So there was no way Angie was ever going to be able to produce any kind of a police report. And that was something Richard, it keeps going on. When she got the letter, she had moved, and then when she opened it, she didn't hold it super still. Well, then all of a sudden, well, she put Vaseline over the cameras. She's trying to hide something. No, she wasn't paying attention and seeing if it actually showed up. But Richard actually thought he deserved to get that information sent directly to him so he could have physical proof of it. Now
But
that's interjecting
what
yourself.
business is it of his?
Well, he thinks she lied to him and he thinks that she did this to
So she
herself.
owes him why?
Well, he thinks that
What?
he needs to see the proof that CPS was actually involved in the home and that she did not call and place this herself. Because he's even gone to the point to say that she did this to herself. It was an email sent to the regional director, and the name on it was Kay Crowley, and it came from email.com. So there was no real way to track this, but I don't think Angie would facilitate all that stuff to do that, especially knowing what it would do to her son. What
Hey,
mother would?
Robbie. I just hate that, people get harassed. I mean, and I've always been one that goes after goes for the underdog. When someone gets bullied and made fun of, I just like, I just can't do it.
Right. And there was a lot of back and forth between people that just shouldn't have happened. It was like with Evelyn. Um, there was a lot of back and forth that I was supposed to be such a mean, horrible person, but I never really spoke or talked to him. I did show up in Jeff's chat a couple times, and how I ended up being such a horrible person. I was supposed to be KLC, or and this was where somebody else took and they used some computer skills. They actually said that me and not Joan of Arc was the same person, and they could prove that based off of a web crawler that was in YouTube. And it was like, you got to be kidding. So she's always doing this. Click a link, tell us who you are. I just want to hear your voice. If I hear your voice, I might know who you are. The thing about YouTube is it gives you a certain amount of anonymity.
It does.
And if somebody doesn't divulge all this information, then you're never going to know it. She's had so many different channels, but she always brings it back to where people come back and find her. She's the one that leads everybody back to her channels.
This place, I've never seen anything like it. Like, I mean, I'm starting to understand now a little bit more.
Yeah, but KLC's not all over the place. He has not recruited any of us to go out
I
and
hardly ever see him. I'll tell you where I've seen him. I've seen him in my chat. I've seen him in Angie's chat. That's it.
I've seen, he did a
And I
live.
don't go and analyze her, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know if he was going. I go in Dana's
Yes, he's gone in
because
down.
I don't get jumped on in Dana's. Like,
Right.
I find her chats pretty, pretty. People are pretty chill in there, but there's certain chats I won't go in. Like,
Right.
I tried to go in Richard's chat one time, and that Joan of Arc, or not Joan of Arc, or whatever she is. Oh my God, she's horrible to me. So I was like, that's it, I'm done. And he didn't do nothing. He just sat there on his stream and just allowed her to attack me. So I said, that's it, I'm done. I'll never go back to his stream ever again.
Yeah. But see, you're supposed to be this really misinformed person, and he's going to bring the light to you with the facts, and you're going to see everything differently,
No,
and
no, that's not gonna happen. He tried to look, he came in my chat twice today, this morning, and I blocked him both times. And then he jumped up, he tried to get up on my panel. I'm like, no, you're not coming up here. I don't want to hear what you have to say, so why would I let you up here? I've seen what I've seen him on. I saw what he did to Angie on her panel and how he treated her, and that was it. I was done. Carla, I'm not an anti-analyzer person. I had no idea who all these people were. I've said many times in an outcast, I had no idea about her past and I didn't care. I am anti-Richard and I fight bullies.
And Miller is being honest with that. He's always been straightforward with that. The one thing he's always been consistent about, he doesn't like the drama. Don't bring the drama to his channel. That's not what
Well,
his
I guess
channel's about.
those of us that went through what she did, like those, us that are OG, have a bad taste in our mouths where she's concerned.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that still have a bad taste, and like I said, some of us actually want to see that, maybe her life can turn around and be much better, and she be in a happier
If
place.
she was nice, if she was a nice person, but she just seems to want to bully, and Richard is bullying. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, and you've got the right to decide who's going to come on your panel and who's not going to come on your panel. And Richard's been around for quite a while, and there's been a lot of people that don't agree with his YouTube persona. And one thing he's always been very clear about: YouTube is a place of entertainment for him. It is a hobby. You are an online friend, which means you're not a real life friend. And if this is a form of entertainment, what does he do to entertain himself? So
Lemon Worm, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to answer your question. You are here talking about letting people defend themselves against lies and slander, but you won't let Richard defend himself. And I'll tell you why. Because I watched how he treated Angie when she let him up on her panel. And I don't want that here. I actually watched videos about what he's done. Why would I allow that on my panel? Why would I allow him to do that to me? So people can tell me I've gotten to know Richard. I have found lots of heart in him. I used to be his biggest smasher. I love people though, all people. Dana, well, and you have I don't tell people who they can like or dislike. Sorry, Richard fooled all of you, Chubby Cheeks.
well, I
Look,
tried to give
Samara was a big defender of Richard too.
I
He was a
tried to give
big
Richard,
defender. She goes, "Oh, he's a good guy."
yeah, I tried to give him a chance. There wasn't everything that I agree with him, and that's okay. That just means I'm human. I'm not going to like everything about everybody, and if I disagree with something, doesn't mean that I'm automatically saying there's something bad about a person. To be unique and to be an individual and a human, you have the right to say, I don't agree with what you're saying, or I don't agree with how you're saying. And
Hmm.
Richard has a habit of trying to portray himself that he's here to reel people in and to say enough is enough. It was like he was saying about Rabini Gab, that he went over there and there was all this racial slurring going on over there, and he got booted because he said it was too much. Now, the Richard Groper I've known, and if anybody Googles Groper, what do you come up with on Groper off of Google? It is considered a white supremacist name. It is considered to be racist. So
Really?
if he doesn't want anybody to think that he's that way, then he needs to correct that. And one of his first videos that he did on that channel was where he pledged his allegiance to the Groper Nation. And he's even had it where for a long time, he's very demeaning about females. He had Melly up on a panel and it was a fantasy. And well, in this fantasy, he's telling her, this is your fantasy. And you get raped by 100 hobos on a cardboard box. And at the end of it, you get in your little Prius and you drive away. What woman is going to sit there and say, are you out of your fucking mind? What did you just say that I want it done to me? This is a fantasy? So sometimes he goes a little bit too far, and
Yeah.
he needs to reel himself back in and stop saying he's reeling everybody else back in.
Richard was calm, didn't raise his voice, and answered every question Angie had. She just didn't like the answers. No, he was very condescending, I thought. I can't stand people that are condescending. I don't know. It's a pet peeve of mine.
Well, that's where I say everybody has a right to their own opinion and how they perceive things, and there's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with saying that I don't like somebody for whatever reason.
Mhm.
That's not a bad thing.
No,
you
we're
know
not all, hey, look, we're all different people on here. No one is going to like everybody on YouTube. We're not all going to like each other, everybody on here. We can coexist with people. We don't need to bash them,
right.
and that's what I have a problem with is people that make fun of looks, make fun of weight. I mean, I think at one point, which I had a problem with, Richard put up a picture of Angie to humiliate her.
Hmm.
And I had a problem with that. I really did. I just think, why did you have to go there?
Now,
You know what I mean? Why
right.
would you do that?
Now, in all fairness, my normal YouTube avatar is a part of a smile, and I'm within the YouTube boundaries of what I'm doing. But I had a deal with Analyzer because she put up her photograph, and if I remember right, it was not Joan of Arc who was using her photograph, and she got upset and wanted it taken down. Well, I didn't use the whole thing because there was a group of us that kind of did watch everything that she did, and we kind of called her out on it. And I go, it's a Photoshop picture. And she says, no, it's not. So that's when I cropped part of the smile and I've kept it there. And I told her, I go, if you can go 72 hours without insulting anybody, and this was back then, this isn't now, so you understand this, Analyzer, that without being hateful towards people, because this is when she was attacking Spoof and Sweet Wheat. She was off over in different channels playing behind the scenes, over in Angie's. I don't like spoofers, but over in spoofers, I don't like Angie. This is when she was doing all this. And when I told her, if you can knock this stuff off for 72 hours and be pretty much a decent human being, I'll remove it and I will publicly apologize. And after 14 hours, she kind of laughed about it. And it was like, okay, well, I guess it's going to stay. And I could have been mean about it. I could have blacked it out some teeth. I could have thrown eyeballs on it. I could have made it a very bad picture. It's a Photoshop picture. It's there to kind of remind her that not everybody has given up on you. If you've got that nice of a smile somewhere in your deep heart, there has to be something nice about you. Grab onto that. Make yourself a better person. You can put all this behind you, and people will forget and people will move on. But as long as she's still having victims on a regular basis, nobody's going to forget. And it's never, ever her fault. It's always everybody else's.
Do you feel like her negative and hateful behaviors have increased over the past couple of weeks?
Yes, I do.
And is there a reason why?
It's she wants to be the center of attention. She's an only child. That's what a lot of only children do. They want to be the center of attention. They're never wrong, and she wants everybody else to think that she's been victimized from her divorce to everything that's occurred on YouTube. Jeff has victimized her. Evelyn has victimized her. Angie has victimized her. Spoof has victimized her. Sweetwheat has this ongoing grudge against her. And Sweetwheat can go and leave her alone, and she starts texting her too. And
Why, you got to wonder when someone has a problem with so many people, you got to wonder who the problem is. Is the problem with everybody else, or is the problem with you? You know what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? What I'm saying?
right. And she's got that turnover rate going on right now, where
Right.
some people are,
Recycling.
right. It's like the saying goes, wash, rinse, and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't understand what some of these channels are about. They're not trying to be malicious. Maybe they're trying to kind of help her to see what we see as individuals in this. Now, there's even been times where it's a common denominator in all of it. You have to sit back and look at all the things. It was like Critter was her best friend. She wanted Critter back for a long time. And now she even tries to say that Critter subs to her or what have you, and she doesn't. So she will actually go out of her way at time to victimize people from the past. She has to bring them up. So, Evelyn, you will be brought up over and over again. Jeff will be brought up over and over again. And you guys will be a source of a subject for her to lash out on. And she's never wrong. You know that. And she's always played the victim. And if people actually start comparing things, that's when they realize that, wait a minute, I know somebody different than somebody I'm being told different things than you're being told. And that was one of the common things that happened over a year ago, even with Delusion Dispeller. She's often come and said
That's
that,
another thing I don't understand. Here's another thing I don't understand with Richard. He went after her crazy, like for like I think a month straight. He went out after Delusion Dispeller. Everything was like about her husband and everything. Like he just was horrible to her. Now he's like best friends with her.
well, he's biding his time. So, but let me pose this question to you. Do you think it was fair because Matt wasn't really on YouTube? Do you think it was fair for him to bring him to light and throw him out like that and expect her to answer for him? Or did he have an
Like
alter?
her husband, you mean?
Yes, her husband.
No, I don't think it was at all.
So no matter what he did, that was in his past, and it wasn't for us to be judge, jury, to convict him for it. Yeah. And now, and see, that occurred when Analyzer had Dee Dee on panel and Richard on panel. And Dee Dee did not agree with some of the things that Richard was saying on panel.
So when he doesn't like someone, he just goes
Yes.
after them.
Yes, pretty much. Pretty much.
And somebody actually warned me about Analyzer today and said, I can't remember who it was, but they said, you better watch yourself because she just said that I'll be sorry, or you'll be sorry, or I will be sorry for saying anything. And I'm like, yeah, really? Is that some kind of a threat? And she
Well,
goes, no, she will make sure that she makes you miserable.
yeah, she's made quite a
Oh,
few people miserable.
well,
And
she can try. She can try, but I don't know what she can do to make me miserable.
well, tonight she actually threatened that if Pink did not get a hold of Spoofer and have Spoofer take down some video, that she was going to strike Pink. And I'm sitting here, Pink is a very smart, intelligent lady. Why do you think that you can threaten her to make another YouTuber do something? And if not, what the consequences are? Now, that
Why does she want things taken down? Is it because it tells that they tell the truth about her, or
I guess so. I'm not exactly sure. Well, what she said was that they were all lies. And the one thing is, it's on the miscarriage. When Pink took the picture and she went and she Googled it and found the source of it, she did a live about it. Now, Analyzer is sitting there saying, I can strike her, even though it's put on private. So she either gets and goes over here
oh,
and tells.
Richard is in here. He said supporting sex offenders. Wow. No, you do. Isn't Delusion Dispeller? Doesn't she go over there? Aren't you her bestie now?
Well, they do talk back and
Everything
forth,
is
but
documented. Everything is documented. That's all he does with his time. He documents everything. I'll start calling you the clerk.
oh, he's been called out by
I
a
have
few
no
other people.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, it's like on the Discord when he was showing some of the information and trying to make us look like we were villains, he showed what looked good on our side and he left a lot of the other comments out. It's
Oh
like if
yeah, you mean selective showing
yes.
screenshot? Oh, that's
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah. Well,
I've seen
that on
that.
Discord. And, we weren't like, we even started talking about other things. And here, Analyzer thinks it was all about her and it's evil and
Oh, of
it's
course.
malicious. And no,
That's
we
what
were
narcissists do.
right. And that was something that's really upset a lot of us. And I did put up screenshots where it showed where other information was being brought into Discord. And because we didn't agree with it or we did not go with that narrative, then this is what happens. And it's taken out of the, and I must say it correctly this time, Richard, so you can't make fun of my speech, context. That it was taken and made to a way that we were
Well,
all.
that happens so much on here.
It
You can say
does.
something, if you say something and someone takes your messages and then they don't show all the messages. They select a few, then show them. And it's happened to me. And
And
then show them out of context. And
right.
then,
And
yeah,
see, in
you're left to
Discord,
defend yourself.
yeah, in Discord, you can have voice going as well as comments being put in there. And we were not all based on around um, Analyzer. Like I said, there was one conversation that we had where one of us went to a hairdresser and it was brought out that the daughter of the hairdresser's boyfriend just got out of jail and he was a sovereign citizen. And, he really went to the full extent of what he thought and wanted to be actually supported so that he could fight his case that he just got out of jail for. So we were talking about that. We all have kids and, kind of amazed and what do we think of the sovereign citizens? Is it something that can legally stand up? How does our laws affect it? And then even sometimes when people take it a little bit too far and they break laws. So we were talking about that. Then there was another case where on Facebook, something got shared with one of us and they put it in there. And we were like, wow, what the coincidence is kind of odd, who knew on that? And so that's basically what it went. Now, see, they're going to want Richard to come up on panel.
They do want Richard to come up
Yeah.
on panel.
And see, there's only 3 of them. Cranky Chick, are you Analyzer?
He's like all the trolls in here.
Yeah.
Why did they want to come up on panel?
Well, there's only a couple people that actually want him to come up on panel, and more people that
Yeah,
aren't even
the
bothering.
trolls.
So
No, Samara's one of my mods. She's not a troll.
no, I wasn't saying anybody was a troll, but see, not
I
everybody.
think that Cranky Chick is. I
I
just
think-
timed someone out.
Yeah, I think Crank a Chick is Pandora.
If that's
Analyze.
Pandora, get her out of here. I do not want her in this chat.
So
You're going to defend yourself. You're going to be condescending, and I can't
you
stand
do
that.
your videos, Richard, of us. Do you give us a chance to defend ourselves?
No,
Just put the
no, they
videos
sit there
up.
and bash.
Yeah. And then you go over on someone else's panel and you make it sound like you're the savior that's gone in, or you have to bring this stuff to public knowledge. And like I said over and over again, your stuff has actually caused more heartache and grief than it's helped anybody. And being that you enjoy the entertainment, I'm going to say that's why you did it. It was all for entertainment. It was for the drama so that you can feel that you are participating.
No. Richard allowed me to get bashed in his chat. So no. That not Joan of Arc bashed me in his chat.
So
And he sat there and she bashed Samara too. And Richard just sat there instead of telling her, like, yeah.
So,
No.
Richard, she's telling you no. And that is Carla's right to say no. So, obviously you had to be watching some of this, or somebody went over in your chat to let you guys know what was going on over here. It was just a normal conversation going on, answering some questions Carla hasn't been privy to. She's done her own thing, and this has been dropped in her chat. And this is something that shouldn't have been brought and dropped in her chat. And it was done in trying to defend Analyzer. And if anybody knew anything about Carla, they would have known that that would not fly very well over here.
Nope.
I know Carla from back in the Analyzers days, and when you were a mod on Brian St. John's channel.
Yeah.
You've always been a kind person, even
okay, Evelyn. How I got really, really involved in this is when Kansas City Lights came in here. I've known him for years. And what I hated was when I heard that they were saying that he didn't have a wife.
Right. And now they're making fun of him, saying he's a small person.
And that's all they do is make fun of him. So what?
Yeah. His tiny little shoes, that he's a short person and he doesn't have any rights. I mean, that can be hurtful and hateful, and he's not supposed to defend himself. He's not supposed to say, where are you getting this information? And she's the one that says that she don't know for sure, but she can pretty much guess, because based off of some of the information that she's seen, she doesn't believe that he has a wife. Being that he texts other women or emails other women, he must not have a wife. And then she went as far as to say that his wife took and contacted.
No, but she puts it out there like it's a fact.
Yeah. Well, see, when he doesn't have a wife, it's great. But then when it works to her advantage, she's got a wife. No, wait, listen, you're going to love this one. He had his wife contact the courthouses where she lives and gets information about her case. Now, how do you get that kind of information? And why would someone who doesn't have a wife do something like this? You can't have it both ways. And that's what she does. And nobody stops and says, wait a minute, you're telling us he doesn't have a wife. You're positive about it. Then also he's a small person.
Well, okay, if they know that for a fact, that means they went real life.
Yeah, but they can't prove it. When you ask them to prove it, I don't have to prove it. His wife is an attorney. Therefore, I know they contacted him. And see, that's where you have to sit there and say, wait a minute, that's a pretty heavy accusation that you're laying out there. How do you know that this has happened? And what can you provide to me saying
Even
that
the name of Pandora's stream tonight was a dig at me.
Yeah, it was.
That was a dig at me.
It was because you blocked.
She can go F herself.
Yeah. It was because you blocked Richard, and she said she's been nothing but kind to you, and she comes over here and watches you every once in a while, but doesn't say anything. And see, she's not welcomed in the chats because some people have
Look,
been
I have a problem. And that's me. And I don't tell anybody else not to go there, but I have a problem with her from back in the day. I just don't I just don't think she's changed. And that's just my opinion. I mean, they all believe in freedom of speech. That's my right too. I just don't believe um that she's changed.
Yeah, and see, that's where some of us sit there, and some people say that they've been watching her from the very get-go and they can see the changes, and then there's some of us that have, and we don't see the changes, but we're not supposed to be allowed our to vocalize our opinion. We're supposed to be told that we should just keep our mouth shut. We don't know what we're talking about, and if we don't, a cease and desist is going to be shoved in our face. Well, how many cease and desist? And those really, they're kind of hard to obtain as well as to use, especially over state lines.
I'm having a hard time believing the whole cease and desist thing. It's YouTube, for God's sakes. I mean, I'm sorry, but I find that amusing. I really do. I
Right.
just find that funny.
Right. Now,
Like, yeah, I'm gonna tattle on you because you said something nasty about them. You know what? If I had sent out a cease and desist to everybody that was a creep to me, I'd be doing nothing but sending out cease and desist.
exactly. And everybody's going to have an opinion. Again, that's what makes us
Okay, do
independent.
you have a problem with Richard coming up here?
Yeah, I do, because
Okay,
me and Richard cannot get along. We can't see
all
eye to
right.
eye, and he wants to keep going with this narrative that he reeled us in that we were going real life. So he's basically lying because he participated in this, and I even showed in my own videos where at one time he said that he attacked every part of Pandora's support system, removed everybody. Now it's a joke because he wanted to be center of attention. So you can't have it both ways, Richard. You're either one or the other. And I think you've chosen the other. So why don't you just stay on that side? Do it in your lives, do it over on Pandora's.
Truth revealed. You remember Tablet Gate? Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, see, there's been a lot that's happened over the time.
Okay, Samara wants me to let him up. Do you want to get down for a minute? I'll let him up for a minute. If he acts like an ass, and then I'll bring you back up.
Okay, sounds like a winner to me.
All right.
All right.
Don't worry. I'm not going to let him bash anybody up here or say anything disrespectful. But
All right.
you can come back up.
All right. Thanks, Carla.
Okay, so Samara is asking me to bring him up. Okay, get up here. I'm what? What's he saying? I'm for Pandora, but I'm also trying to ruin her. What? I have no idea what you're saying. Samara, I'm doing this for you. I was not going to allow him to come up. I'm kind of in a giggly mood. Like, when you have a little, you get a little tipsy. Although I've had no drinks, had nothing to drink. Okay, I mean, it's pinned to the top. Maybe do I have to put another link in here? Oh, here he is. Uh-oh. Here we go. Hey.
Good evening. This is Richard. I just wanted to say
Oh
I
no,
know
I never would have guessed. Samara's been begging me to bring you
I
up.
saw that. I do appreciate that, and I know that things probably sound really bad when it comes from one point of view. And also, I do want to say I actually don't have a problem with you. Um, I know it may come across like I'm hating on you or I want.
I've had people come in here all night saying that you're saying this about me, you're saying that about, you're making fun of this, you're making fun of that. I'm like, why? I'm not even over there listening to you people. So,
Well, I get that. And
just to be clear, I didn't come live to talk about this stuff. I came live with my friend Ginger, and we were going to talk about other stuff, and it just happened. So,
no, I get
okay.
that. I'm not trying to pretend that like you are revolving around me. And I know that's kind of what was said right before I jumped up, that I find it interesting that Chubbs was saying that I was trying to destroy Pandora, but now I'm her best friend. And well, I guess let's start with the whole Dee Dee thing. Um, Me and Dee Dee are not best friends. She doesn't come to my channel. I occasionally pop in and say hello to her, but we're not best friends. I mean, I think that would be really awkward if we were. As for you, I don't hate you. I think that,
Well, I don't know why you could hate me.
well, I'm just
I've
saying,
not
like,
done anything in this community.
sure, I'm just saying, like, I don't have some kind of like resentment or ill will
Listen,
towards you at all.
you believe in freedom of speech, I've
Of
heard.
course,
Okay, so I have the right to have an opinion, do I
of
not?
course. You didn't
Okay,
have to let me up. I appreciate you letting me up. I do.
well,
Um,
to be honest with you, I only did it because Smart begged me to.
I know, and that's your right. And I'm just saying, like, I'm not, if like if you chose not to let me up, I would get that. That's your right, and I appreciate you doing that. I guess, is there any questions like before well, I guess I'm not even
Well,
looking
you
at
want to
chat,
come
but
up and defend yourself, so defend
sure.
away.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that have been levied. I guess like the whole racism thing, that I'm a racist and I'm Pandora's best friend. I mean, I'm over there on Pandora's channel, but I don't think any of the stuff that I'm saying really has anything to do with Pandora. Um, I'm not sure if you thought that I was like trying to promote what had happened before with Pandora, her like past. I wasn't around then. I don't know anything about that.
Well, okay, so that same goes for me and Kansas City Lights. I've known him for a couple of years. He's never done anything to me. Why would I turn on him?
I'm not asking.
Well, it seems like that's what she wants
Well,
because
I
that's
think
what
the
she
thing
does.
was, I thought it was interesting that you would support him because he
No,
has
you came in
done
my
those things.
chat. Listen to me. You came in my chat and said you support someone that goes real life.
Well, he
You're
does.
yeah, so does she. So do you,
I went real life
right?
on a sex offender.
You
I have
you
no problem
you
doing that.
you went real life on other people too. You went real life, you dox people. That's going
I
real
didn't
life,
dox anyone.
correct?
I have all the evidence of that. Oh, you mean that whole story that Chubbs laid out, that I was the bad guy, the bad actor, and I did everything in that Discord? That's wrong. That's false. Uh, Spoofer in there actually admitted herself on a stream that she did that. She is the one who provided all the background checks and everything else. I had nothing to do with that. I mean,
Now,
I
what
have all
about
the
Evelyn?
evidence.
Have you guys been so horrible to Evelyn?
Hold on just a second. The audio. Uh, I'm gonna jump back up.
Ooh, hard question. See you another time, Carla, tomorrow. Oh, okay.
Sorry, the
All
audio
right.
just like died.
Evelyn's in here, like, she seems like a really broken person. Like, do you guys get some kind of thrill out of hurting people? Like, that's what I'm seeing.
What do you
Like,
mean by that?
well, it seems like your whole goal on here is just to hurt people.
I don't think so. I think, in fact, that what I did, I was preventing people from actually hurting people. I mean, do you understand that in Angie's Discord, they were all trying to involve themselves in her actual court proceedings for her divorce and send lawyers information and nonsense. And Chubbs was in there posting all this info about her court, who the lawyers were, all this other nonsense. And I think that's wrong. Yeah. I think YouTube stuff is YouTube
And what
stuff.
about what Pandora did?
You mean what she did in
When
her
she was
past?
faked cancer, faked a
Well,
miscarriage,
there's like
um,
dozens and dozens and
tried to
dozens of
scam
videos.
people. Um, she just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That's all.
Well, I get that, but should that prevent me from stopping something wrong from happening right in front of me because someone did something wrong in the past? I mean, it's not really about Pandora. I would have done
But
that for anyone.
according to them, nothing happened. They were talking about it in behind the scenes. That was just like shit talk, like we all do in discords. Now I don't know if you've been in discords, but we shit talk in discords. Doesn't mean we're gonna do anything.
Well, I wish that was the fact of the matter, but Angie admitted to sending something physically to a lawyer, and it's all in there. Like all this stuff is documented. They can pretend like they were just saying this, but I mean, they talked about it doing it, and then she confirmed doing it. And according to Pandora herself, someone received something. So, I mean, am I trying to say that they are like the worst people in the world? No. All I'm saying is that they were doing this, and now they're trying to pretend that I was the one that was doing this when I stopped them from doing it. That's all.
Hence, I've never been in a discord. Yeah, my discord is very small. There's like 7 people in my discord. That's it.
If you're asking me, do I support someone faking cancer? Of course not.
Um, well, hmm,
But does
okay.
that mean that they're not allowed to, like, no one should defend them years down the line if something bad is about to happen?
I can't answer that. I don't think that happened, but whatever. You say it did.
Well, I mean, I have the
I mean,
evidence of it
from
happening.
what well, yeah. But I'm listening to 2 sides of the story, and
Sure. No, I get that. And I'm not trying to say that you cannot believe anything that they're
I want
saying,
to.
just like I would hope you wouldn't just take everything they're saying at face value. Um, I do have
I don't ask for proof.
documents.
I have this thing where I give people the benefit of the doubt until they screw me over. So,
I get that.
you know, I don't someone's going to tell me, if you tell me like you have 4 kids, I'll say, okay, you got 4 kids. Do I need proof? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And the whole demanding proof thing, I think that's kind of what, uh, it's on topic. I never demanded anything from Angie. What happened was this whole DCF thing happened, and this was a long, protracted thing. This did not just happen overnight. Everyone was upset and supporting her. And she did say that she had all these things that she would provide to me. I was not saying, Angie, give me these things and prove what you're saying is true. Otherwise, I will go public about it. She said for months that she had a police report, all this information, documentation, blah, 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 blah. And she didn't. So it's just odd that you would say that you have
But
all
you
this
not only
info.
did that, Richard, you tried to humiliate her. You made fun of her. You made fun of her looks. I mean, what was the point of all that?
Well,
I
she
I
said I
just
hurt
don't
her
get it.
son. I mean, sure, I'm going to take action against that, of course. I was trying to help her. I was actually trying to find out who that person was that, contacted DCF. So, I mean, I get it. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm Mr. Completely 100% innocent of anything ever or anything like that. I'm just saying there are degrees to things, and I won't go that far. I mean, messing around is one thing, but getting involved with people's real lives, that's another matter. And I guess there is a caveat. If the sex offender is involved, I have no issue with that.
So why, answer me this, why is Pandora threatening me? Why is she saying I'm gonna pay for this, or she's gonna pay for, she's gonna pay for that? Pay for what? Because I have an opinion about her?
Honestly, I can't speak for Pandora.
I'm telling you
Um,
what people have come to me and told me
do I
that
think
she
that
said.
she's going to try to like
Go real
t
life?
no, I don't think so.
No, because she's your friend.
Well, I mean, we're friends on YouTube, but I mean, are we like actually best friends? Do I know her personally? No. Do I think, in my opinion, do I think that she would come after you per se, real life? No.
Well, I've been warned.
But like I said, I'm not her and I can't speak for her.
Well, she can't do anything to me. I mean, I don't talk to her behind the scenes. I've never talked to her privately. So anything that she would come up with to try and do anything to me, she would have to make up. Never
I
talked to her on the phone, never would.
It sounds
Um,
like more of like a tongue-in-cheek thing, like said in the moment, more than like a serious, like I'm gonna get
she's gonna
her.
pay. She's gonna pay for that.
I mean, I get it. Like I know that I have a style that comes across that's a lot of people find uncomfortable. I understand that. I'm not trying to pretend like, oh my God, like why don't people like me? Like I'm just Mr. Innocent over here. I mess around, but I mean there are limits to messing around, and
Why is it important for you to white knight for her?
I'm not.
You are.
How am I white knighting for
Well,
all
you're
I was?
coming over here and you're defending her honor.
How?
Well, isn't that why you're here?
I'm here defending myself.
Oh, okay.
I'm. It just happened to be Pandora that was the target in the Discord. Like I said, if that was anyone else, I would have done the same thing. Was I in there saying, "Oh, it's Pandora. I must stop it because it's her and only her"? Absolutely not. It just happened to be her. And things progressed further and further and further until it reached a point where it wasn't just me. There were several people that were like, "Oh, this is a bit much. Like, why are we talking about calling her church, calling her pastor, uh, so on and so forth, calling people she knows, getting
Why
in
is
touch
she
with
why
lawyers?"
is she saying telling everybody she's sending out cease and desist order? You know that's not worth the paper
Of
they're
course,
written
I
on,
don't know.
right?
I have no idea.
So
I'm not
stupid.
her lawyer. I'm not her mouthpiece or anything like that. I mean,
Pay
we're
money for
friendly,
that. It's
but
so dumb.
well,
Like
sure. But
cease
I
and
mean,
desist. Cease and desist what? Like I'm gonna tell on you because you spoke about me on YouTube.
well, I think what I've realized is that on YouTube, a lot of people say things that are outlandish, like kind of what I was listening to before I jumped up here. I mean, if you were to listen to Chubbs, and I'm not even insulting her or anything like that, but you'd probably think, my God, Richard is an awful person. He's a bad person. He's done all these bad things, but I
Well,
mean, that's just
I've
not the
heard her a
case.
couple times, and I like this girl. I think that she's
Well,
well spoken. You've trolled her. Obviously, you've admitted to that. Um, and I mean, I don't
I
have any
did.
problem with that. I just don't want it in here.
No, I get that. I get that. And I'm not saying that she is a bad person. I'm not saying, Carla, you can't like this person or that person and you must accept Pandora. It's not even about Pandora, really. I'm up here for myself. Sorry, Pandora. I know she's paying me for this, by the way. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, like I thought the big thing with you was everybody has right. Like I don't censor anybody.
I don't.
Everybody has the right to their own opinion. So, from what I've heard and what I've seen, I found that you were very racist. That's why I said it. That was my
Oh,
opinion.
And I get
Things that
that.
I said, things I've heard,
I
things that,
get that.
that came out of your mouth. Like, you know,
Sure.
so if you're not, why do you say the things you say? I mean, they're offensive. I'm offended by them.
I find humor in things that people don't find funny. I think that one can be humorous and tell jokes and say things that may come across as racist, but that doesn't mean that they themselves, the individual, is a racist person, that they actually believe or subscribe to what they're saying. And I think that's fair to say. I mean, um, I know some people will tell you, well, you can't joke about this, this specific thing. That's, you just can't. I don't agree. Doesn't mean I'm going to joke about every single thing, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that the people maybe get too offended too quickly. And I'm not saying that I go around being as disgusting and vile as much as I can just because it's
Do
shocking.
you know if Brian St. John said the same things you said, he would be annihilated.
But he was. I mean, he did say racist things.
Not as bad as you did.
What have I said that's bad? I mean, I didn't say.
Oh, come on.
So we're comparing racist. So, I mean, if he's not
Not
racist,
only
then how am I
that, I mean, the
racist?
whole thing with the mask. I mean, you guys knew what you
That
were
wasn't
doing. Come on.
racist.
You're just playing dumb now. I mean, you're being condescending. You're acting like I'm stupid. Everybody knew what that was.
I'm just disagreeing. That's my
You
opinion.
were making fun of somebody's wife because she's, um, African American.
Okay, about the
I mean,
whole
that's what that
KCL
was.
thing about his wife, that was actually like a long months and months running gag about him not having a wife. Like not just that day. Like no, I don't think anyone's going around trying to convince people that he's not actually married. That's just like a thing in that room.
But why?
To be
I
honest,
mean,
I don't know. It's just kind of
why would you come
spontaneously
in
happened.
my room today and say you support people that go real life?
Well, I
I
mean,
like the
because you
guy.
are. I mean, you were kind of supporting them.
I do support him. I like him. I've been friends. I mean, not
But
friends
that's
with
just my
him, but
opinion, right? I mean, that's
he's
what.
been okay. That's your opinion. And my opinion is Pandora's a piece of shit. So,
Okay, I'm not trying to
so
convince you of anything otherwise.
well, you won't.
Well, I'm
So,
not trying to
and
though.
I'm not
That's
trying to convince you of anything either. And I go in Pandora's room and say, you have to believe me. No, I said it on my own. I have a platform. That's where I said it.
sure. But you did
That's where
block
I
me
said
though.
it.
I mean, that's why. I mean, I wasn't
Because you
saying
came
anything.
in, you
Well, I
came in
gave
here. Well,
eyeballs and you blocked that, which I thought was kind of funny. And then you blocked me
oh,
for
I thought
saying
you were
that.
coming in to start trouble. And here's the thing with, I have a problem with people that are condescending, and I won't allow it. You know, I won't
Do you
allow someone
believe
to
that
be
I'm being condescending though, like right now?
not right now. But when I watched you on Angie's, I thought you were being very condescending towards her. I thought you were like kind of flippant.
Well, that's
Um,
because I mean, Angie has been caught red-handed, like dead to rights. I mean, I don't want to, I know she's your friend, but I don't want to,
I like Angie. Yes, I do.
I,
I'm
I
not. I'm
know.
not going to apologize for it. And I
I'm
don't
just
have the
saying
same
I have her.
history with her that you guys do. You guys are from a whole different community. I know her from here, and I like her. And I like these people the girl that was on my panel earlier, Chubby Cheeks and Mass Spoofer, and I like these people. They're nice. They come in here. They're good people, as far as I know. That's my opinion. And yeah, I'm not forcing you to have the same opinion either.
I get that. I'm not trying to force you to have an opinion that
But you
force you to
are.
have my opinion. No,
But you
I'm just
are.
how I'm defending myself. I'm not
Okay.
saying you cannot call me a racist. Never would you call me a racist. That's a lie. You're a liar or something like that. No, I'm not saying that. I
And I
said,
wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like, I'm not going to do that every day.
well,
I have been in the last couple of days. I must admit, I've been a bitch, but you know, it is what it is.
it is what it is, and I'm not crying about that. like I said, I even admitted, I understand why you would do that. I don't hold that against you, but I do
Christina
appreciate you
says
listening.
Groper has been bashing Carla on Pandora's all night. Word salad. Yeah. Well, I can
It's
take it though.
YouTube. It's
You know what?
YouTube, and
I've been
making
taking it
fun of
for a
someone.
year.
Well, I mean, this is YouTube. I mean, just because I say something, do I honestly think, oh my God, like I hate Carla. Like I'm just seething over here and just, wishing. No, I don't.
Uh,
I really
well,
don't. I have no reason to hate you. I really don't.
no, we don't have a past,
Well,
okay?
exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm not
And
actually,
listen, do you agree we can like different people
of
and
course,
people can coexist in this community? Do
of
we
course,
always need to do we always need to be fighting with everybody all the time?
a
Do we
little bit.
always need to be really?
Well, I
You
mean,
think
that's like
that?
the spice of YouTube. And I'm not saying that do we have to be at
Maybe.
each other's throats all of the time, every day about every little thing? No. But I can't lie, and I think everyone would probably agree that a little bit of spice doesn't hurt from time to time, but all of the time, no.
I don't know. It gets boring to me. I mean, it just does. I mean, I'll go in spurts. I'll get a bee in my bonnet over something, and I'll go at it for a couple days. Then I get over it and get bored with it. That's just me, though. You know, she
I
told me to
understand
go
that.
eat 500 Twinkies. Oh, someone was, yeah, was she fat shaming? Like, yeah, you know, making fun of people's looks. You've already, oh, somebody didn't want to stay on panel. KCL has been slandering Richard for months. I think KCL has been defending himself. That's why I love you, Carla. I love you too, Samara.
I'm not going to worry too much about what KCL is has done about me. I'm just saying, like, I just know that if people think that he hasn't done anything, well, he has, and he's admitted to doing it. Am I expecting you to ostracize him and cast him out as, right now and never to have him back? No. I'm rational. I like what you were saying before. Everyone can I think most people can kind of coexist. There doesn't have to be a complete segregation. Obviously, not everyone's going to get along, but I don't know Kansas City Lights personally. I don't know if that's an online persona, if that's how he is in real life, just like with me, just like with you.
I don't know, like what I know of Kansas City Lights, I've known him for a couple of years. He used to come in my chat all the time, and I never had a problem with him. Never. And nobody in my chat ever had a problem with them. So, you know, why would I turn on somebody that I've never had a problem with? Read the rest of my comment, please, Carla. Richard is a war veteran, and KCL speaks absolutely disgusting things about his service. That's not defending himself. That's cruel. I don't agree with anybody getting bullied on here. I've never seen it myself. What you don't understand, Richard, is I don't go into a lot of chats anymore, just because it's gotten so toxic on here.
And I would like to say that I'm sorry if you felt bullied in my chat. That was not my intention. I think you did come over that one time, like you were saying, and not
And
Joan
all
kind of,
I said was hello, and not Joan of Arc attacked me for no reason. No reason. And I would
and
have
I,
expected you to say, because I would in my chat, if someone came in and was like being bullied, someone that, wasn't doing anything wrong, and someone was just attacking them just to attack them. And she's not only attacked me, but she has attacked Samara also. I would expect the creator to at least ask that person to stop or show some respect to the people in my chat. So
I get what you're saying. I don't think that, in my defense, at the time, I don't think I caught that in the chat, and I don't think I was aware of
I
that.
talked
So,
about it the next day on my
I'm,
panel. I
was I
did.
there?
I don't know. Probably didn't watch me. I'm on it early in the morning, but I did talk about it the next day. I was like pissed off. I was pissed off because she made it so unpleasant that there was no way I was going to stay in your chat like afterwards. And I that was when I was very, very new. I just hadn't, started to watch Angie, and I went in, I was interested in going in your chat, and then she attacks me out of nowhere, came out of nowhere.
To be
And I was
honest,
like, yeah, I'm
I
gone.
don't
That's it.
know what your history is with her or what,
I have
if
no
there is
history
one.
with her. I didn't even know who she was.
I don't know why. Just like with Samara, I had no idea. I didn't even catch that. I had to, like, a couple days later, I was like, what happened the other day? You kind of like, vamoosed out of there. And I had no idea that that had even happened to her. So I guess there was a certain couple of magic words that were said that I certainly didn't get. It was an inside thing, so obviously they knew.
Oh, Pandora, you named her stream after me today. Like, come on. Like, grow up. Come on. I'm too old for this bullshit. You know what I
Now
mean? Like,
I told them, I'm like, no, Carla
like
is
so
not old.
stupid.
She's probably like 37, 38.
Try 58. I'm not ashamed of being a boomer. I don't care.
Well, I joke
But I'm
about
not, I'm like,
boomers, but I don't mean it in like a nasty way.
I don't care.
Well, I'm glad.
I cam up, I show myself. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm old, so what? I haven't hurt anybody. I don't take money from people. I'm just me.
Well, that is, you know what? I
Like
will
you
have
want
to
to,
give you credit for that, to be honest, and I'm not being condescending. People that do cam up, I have to give them, uh, all due respect for doing that because, I mean, a lot of people don't.
exactly. And so, if that's why you're going to make fun of me, um, because what I look like or my age or my looks or whatever, then you've already lost as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's to me, I read her stream tonight. I'm like, oh my God, that's so ridiculous. Like, and then I have people coming in like every 5 minutes. Well, Ginger Locks is on my panel talking about her illness because that's what this stream was supposed to be about. And I have people coming in here every 5 minutes saying, well, this is being said about you, and that is being said about why? She's streaming you, you know.
I don't think she was streaming you, but I mean, I was on panel.
Well, how did she know what was going on in my chat? Like, how do you know
Well,
what
people were typing in
why?
the chat what was being said. I think that was kind of going on for both sides.
Well, people
Like,
were talking. I allow people to talk in here. So people came in here and they had some beefs. And just like Pandora, as long as people agree with her, she allows them in her chat. I don't have a dog in this fight. So I'm open to listen to everybody. I have my own opinion. Bottom line, I will have my own opinion. Yeah.
no, I get that. And you're allowed to have your opinion. I do appreciate you having me up. Um, hopefully it was more pleasant than you thought it would be.
It is. You weren't too condescending. I would have told you if you were too condescending. I mean, here's the thing. I don't like Pandora. You're not going to force me to like her.
I
I don't
couldn't
like
tell.
racists. Um, I thought some of the things you said were very racist. I have a problem with, and that's just how I feel.
I get that. I respect that. And I would
And I'm
say
telling
that
you, I'm not saying it behind your back. I'm telling you how I feel.
I get that. And I respect you saying that to me. And I will say that I could not tell that you had a problem with Pandora. As far as I could tell, that you guys were best friends. And I'm a little bit shocked, to be honest. No, I'm
You
just
know what?
kidding.
She did say hello. Look, before I saw a lot of the things that I saw, and I'm fond of Angie. When I saw a lot of the things that she was saying about Angie and some other people, I just found that she was mean spirited. And I thought, I just thought, after what she had done in this community and how many people she had hurt, that she had no right to judge other people. Um, but, you know, it's the drama community, so it is what it is. But, and
Now,
that's, I mean, you have the right to support who you like, but
I will ask you this. You thought that what me coming up here was only defending Pandora? Because I thought that in
I thought
my
you were
own,
white knighting for her.
but I was defending myself though. I mean, I would get if I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, Pandora is a good person. She's, this, and that. I thought that I was pretty fair
Well, you're
by,
believing what I'm hearing from the other side, and I'm listening to both sides now. So what I'm hearing from the other side is that she's like lying about a lot of things, about a lot of people. And what I'm hearing from your side is that no, you believe everything she says. Everything she said is the gospel, that she's telling the truth about everything. There's one side, there's your side, their side, it's somewhere in the middle, there's the truth. You know what I
oh, I
mean?
agree. I agree. I'm not
And
saying
for
that,
someone that doesn't know anybody and is just learning everything, it's hard to understand, to know what's going on. And Samara knows you a lot better than I do, and I've talked in depth to Samara and asked her opinion about a lot of things, and we've talked behind the scenes.
and I think she would tell you that behind the scenes, the real person, me, I'm not preaching hate. I'm not, trying to be racist or anything like that. I'm a normal person. And like I said, I understand why you would have your feelings. I'm not pretending like I don't understand that. I get that. That's just my persona. Also,
Mhm.
I will be very honest and say I'm giving myself a handicapped on YouTube because for me it's like a challenge. So by doing that, it's more fun. It's more of a challenge because I can come in and just be all charming and charismatic and everyone will like me, but that's boring for me.
Yeah.
I'm a
Well,
politician, basically. I'll be president in like 15 years and you'll
why?
vote for
Because
me.
you tell everybody what they want to hear.
No, maybe. Not all the time. 60% of the time, I tell them every time.
See, I'm not good that way. I try to be diplomatic. I don't like conflict. I really don't. Um, Sometimes I speak before I think. I think that's a lot of us on here. Evelyn says keep you talking because she's learning. Evelyn's another one that she used to come in my chat all the time. Then she stopped coming in. But no, we talked about other things. Like I don't know about all your drama over there. I know you had a lot of drama going on. But I don't know about it all.
Well, what do you mean by the drama? I mean, like
Well, I mean,
there's,
there's a lot of things going on over there that I was never privy to or never knew about.
oh, I get that.
No.
And personally, I don't like all the personal drama, like getting into it super deep, into someone's life. I like the YouTube stuff, like where it's Richard on YouTube, Carla on YouTube. I may say something, you may say something back, so on and so forth. But in the end, we part as friends and maybe frenemies. Um, like right now, it feels like we have a very strong connection. You're touching me, I'm touching you. Hopefully, I'm not touching myself. That's for me to know and for you to find out if you want to, if we're friends.
I'm just reading comments in here. You're not very popular.
Oh, I think I'm very, see, the thing about that is like I look at YouTube kind of like this is probably a corny analogy, but like wrestling, pro wrestling, quote unquote.
Yeah, I don't watch it, but I know what
Uh,
you're talking about.
Yes, like not so much the actual act, but the theatrics of it. You have your good guys and then you have your bad guys. And behind the scenes, they don't actually hate each other. They're just entertaining people. And that's kind of how I see YouTube. That's kind of like where I like to keep things. Like we may pretend, I wouldn't say pretend, but I don't actually hate anyone, and hopefully they don't actually hate me, but we put on a show.
Yeah. What do you think it's all entertainment?
Oh, absolutely, 100% entertainment.
All of it? You think it's
Well, it
scripted?
depends. I mean, are
Do
you
you
like,
script your live stream?
no, no, that would be, I don't have the attention span to do that. I do everything off the cuff, but I kind of try to keep everything, I guess, chronological and that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense to some people, but the people that are following along, they get it, that type of a thing. But yeah, it is. It is just it's an entertainment media for me. Does that mean I'm never serious? No, but I do come here to be entertained and entertain myself and other people, but mostly myself.
Well, I do too. But I do every once in a while have something that I'm passionate about and I'll talk about it. And then that's not going to be popular with everybody, you
No,
know.
I agree 100%. That's
And apparently it wasn't very popular with you all tonight because you were talking about me.
well, I didn't say much. I mean, I was just there. Um,
Well, how come I have people coming in my chat every 5 minutes saying Richard's saying this and Richard's saying that?
because they love to hate Richard. I mean, that's part of the game. They
Well,
come
is that
in.
what you want?
No, not particularly. Not when it's
So you
aggravating
weren't
someone.
saying anything about me. You weren't making fun of my avatar. You weren't making fun of my.
I didn't say anything about
Um,
your avatar.
oh, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But I mean, why was it so important for you guys to like know what was going on over here? Because it really didn't start out the way it ended up. It didn't start out that way. Nobody emailed me and asked me to go live for them. That was that's I don't know whose narrative that was, but yeah, that never happened. I mean,
Yeah,
just like that. Oh, that was something someone said that you said.
that
Oh,
I said that
they emailed Carla because she's like so easily manipulated or something like that. I didn't
I
even go
may
live for this. Like
I may have
an
added.
insult. It's kind of an insult. Like you're so stupid. You can be manipulated. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I didn't mean it like that. I just
Well,
meant that.
how do you think it sounds?
Well, I mean, if you look at it from my perspective, I'm looking at the cast of characters. Now, none of this is personal. I don't think you're a stupid person. because A, I don't know you, and B, talking to you, I know you're not stupid. So that's off the table. But you see, you're Angie, she is a witch. All right. So look at it from my perspective. She casts this spell upon you, and she kind of makes you like her thrall, and she has mind control over you. And you have all these other people
Me?
telling you,
You're
yes.
really- Oh, come on.
You see,
You
this
know
is
how
the
ridiculous
entertainment
that
aspect.
sounds.
This you, you're gonna blow the cover if you. But
Do you
this
know
is the.
how ridiculous that sounds?
But it's funny. Like that's why I say it because people will be, oh my God, did you hear what he just said? They have mind control over her, and then they'll run to you and say
Oh,
that.
Jesus.
Do I honestly
Um,
think that you're being mind controlled? No.
she didn't think it was necessary to warn Richard because she was mad at him. I have no idea who connected
She
the
did say
two.
that though, unfortunately.
Well,
But
I know she knows about like stuff like that, but that's what
and
got me interested in her channel, to be honest with you, to start with, because I like paranormal stuff and that. And I just kind of got sucked into the drama of all that stuff in there. Honestly, I don't know the cast of characters. I was learning a lot from Chubby Cheeks tonight, who's cute. I really like her. Um, but
all I can say is I can understand that it may appear to be not the nicest of things, and things may seem that like I myself, I'm not even talking about anyone else. I'm just talking about me. When I say stuff like that, I'm just messing around. I try to entertain that way. I'm just trying to explain like how I think about things like that. Like if someone was saying, I think someone was saying that we were saying that you were forced to go live or something like that, which no one did say that. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Angie put a spell on her, and she's hexed her, and she's they're forcing her to go live about this.
God,
And
no.
do I honestly think that? No. But I mean, that's just the kind of goofy stuff. And then it goes way out of proportion and all this stuff. I don't think all that stuff about really anything. That's just entertains me. Like it's not meant to hurt anyone. Like I get the racist things that I do stand up against. And I, I was thrown out of Rabini Gab. I heard that I was some kind of big player with that, but they threw me out. I was like, no, this has gone too far. They threw me out.
I went and looked at that place for myself, as Samara told me how to find it because I didn't even know what it was, and I was like totally disgusted. To me, like it was like totally disgusting.
It really was. I was very disappointed in Mr. Rabini, and he was trying to lure me in and try to he was using my good name to, I guess, prop up his fly by night website. And he let me in, and then he like freaked out, blocked everyone. This was like a few weeks back, and it's just been him and making accounts using he's all of the accounts that are over there. Like he's talking to himself. It's crazy. It's insane. And I don't know what you saw because basically he had like
I saw
deleted everything.
disgusting
And
shit, is what I saw.
yeah, like I'm not.
And supposedly you're a part of that.
Oh no,
Supposedly Pandora
nope.
is okay with that.
Oh,
So yeah,
Pandora
I was
hasn't been
like
over there.
really disgusted with that.
I'm not
But
over
she was
there.
laughing at all the racist stuff. Come on. I
Wait,
mean,
what racist
I've
stuff?
seen the video where you guys were making fun of Kansas City's wife, and I mean, she was laughing.
But that
She
was on
thought it was
Rabini Gab.
hilarious. She makes fun of people all the time. I mean, she fat shames people. I mean, come on. She's not no skinny person herself. She shouldn't be fat shaming people. you know.
Well, I can't defend her because I'm not here to defend her. So, I mean, I think she defends herself,
Well, I'm just
but
telling you how I feel.
no, I get that. I'm just
My
saying, like, I'm
opinion.
not trying to like defend her honor, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, I just don't like that. That's just me. I just
I
don't like
I get that.
her.
I get
And you
that.
don't have the history we all do.
I know.
You haven't been here when she was doing all that shady shit.
I
Like,
wasn't.
so,
But I will say if she does that again, um, all bets are off there. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, she's fine." But I doubt she'll do that.
well, I heard that she's already started like a GoFundMe to pay for a lawyer. Is it going towards a lawyer or is it going towards like herself?
I don't know anything about that.
No, that's what I heard this morning. So,
I heard someone set up a GoFundMe for her like months ago and it was taken down, but I don't know anything about an active GoFundMe or anything like that.
who would set up a GoFundMe for her?
I think it was like Howie Cat or something.
Oh, whatever. There's a sucker born every minute.
So I was kicked out of Rabini Gab for other reasons. What
Who
was
said
I?
that?
Love Bug 96.
Oh, you got kicked out of.
Apparently,
You are pretending what? Wait. Let me see. You are pretending not to be racist. Perfect setup, eh? Bravo.
I don't know why I'm
You
pretending. I'm
have
not
a lot of different names too, right?
me.
Correct?
I'm Richard Groiper. Richard Groiper 2.0. David Mativier with my face.
And you came in with liquid Groiper, or something
Liquid
like that.
Richard.
Yeah, liquid.
But that's got my face on it.
So Groiper means, someone's told me what Groiper means tonight in my chat and
Oh
said it's like
Lord.
white supremacist.
See, I've been a Groiper since the inception, and a Groiper originally there was a Pepe the Frog meme like way back. It's been like years, like probably like a decade plus. So anyhow, the new meme was it was a groiper, and before any of this other nonsense happened, this was like 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. It's been a long time, but basically a groiper was an Easter toad.
Oh, what?
An Easter toad. It was a toad with an ear. That was literally it.
Hmm.
Just a silly meme, a cartoon. And now somehow it is supposedly some kind of symbol. Basically, I guess, according to some, it's basically a swastika, I guess, and which is ridiculous. It's a cartoon meme.
Well, someone came in here tonight and said that it meant white supremacists. So,
I don't know what to say about that. All I know is that I've been Richard Groiper since the inception of Groipers, and it had nothing to do with
is someone getting
anything
doxxed in my
racial.
chat? Somewhere? Is someone getting doxxed?
Oh my
Please
God.
delete that. Please delete that.
Everyone knows my name's David
No
Mativier.
doxing I don't care. I don't
Carla
want
doxed me.
doxing in
Carla
here.
doxed me. Ha ha ha. No, I'm
No,
just joking.
I didn't even know that was that. I just knew it was the first and last name. No doxing in here.
Don't dox me.
I wouldn't have even known that was you. Oh,
That was
but I
David.
knew it was a dox.
It was a fake dox. They were trying to be sneaky, so I would say my real name, David Mativier. Oops.
Well, don't be doxing yourself in here. Jesus.
It's David Mativier, or it's French.
I was just going to say, is that French? My mother's French, or she was.
You see, we're getting closer
Oh my
moment by
God.
moment.
No, please
Yes,
don't
we
say
are.
that.
We have made a connection. It's the
No.
French connection.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm laughing at his joke, but for those of you that hate him, but that was funny. That was kind of funny. Like I do laugh and I have been known to laugh, I think.
It's okay to
But
laugh. I mean, that's literally why I am on
you
YouTube,
see,
like to make people laugh and make myself laugh.
well, here's the thing with me is I don't take things too serious. Carla, ask Richard about his tiny hands. Ask Richard. Okay, Richard, what about your tiny hands?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
what
what
that means. I
I
have
think
no
they
idea
think
what that means.
that's some kind of like that's a little person insult by Evelyn right there. That she's walking a fine line right there. Now, I've been an advocate for little people, short people, probably my entire life. And for her to say that I have some kind of shrunken hands, basically just
Are you
bones,
a little person? Are you one of those little people?
I
You know
guess
what I mean?
the truth's coming out now, I guess. Um, I'm
Nothing
four
wrong
foot
with that.
six.
Hey, that's one of my favorite shows on TV. The Little Couple.
It's true. Yes, you could probably pick me up and carry me like a child. It's hard for me to admit that sometimes.
You're a cheese eating surrender stinker. Super Cereal says. I take it she's not a fan. Evelyn, no offense to Jeff, but I'm no Jeff. I don't know who Super Cereal is, but they're amusing me. He isn't a little person. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. What I know, all I see is a like Avatar.
I'm a
Do
French
we?
little person, and I'm embarrassed to say my means of conveyance is a mini go-kart. I'm not allowed to drive anything larger than that.
Do you, do you drive it by with your feet,
I have to
like Fred
actually
Flintstone?
I have to attach these wooden blocks to my feet to reach the pedals. Um, I'm related to Peter Dinklage.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay, so you're mad because I said that you're a racist and that Pandora's a fake cancer scammer.
No,
Yeah.
I know she did that. I'm not trying to pretend like that never happened. No. The racist part, I can understand why you'd think that. I'm just saying that it's a little bit more complex than that. I don't expect people to go along with that either. I'm just glad that you listened to me.
Yeah, I'll listen to you. I still have my own opinion about everything. Um, but yeah, I listen. But to be honest with you, had it not been for Samara tonight, I probably wouldn't have let you out.
I know, and I do appreciate that, Samara. I appreciate
Because
you,
Samara, I really respect Samara. I mean, I've known her forever. Me and her go back 3 years. So,
and
um,
I feel bad that I put her in a bad position, um, because I know that it was probably
she's
difficult for
been
her.
very upset all day, to be honest with you. Very upset at some of the things she's seen, she's heard. Um, uh, some of the things I've said probably that hurt her, probably because I have a big mouth sometimes. Richard, my little sister passed away several years ago. She was very little with brittle bone disease. You put what? Wait. You put me in tears. How you bash little people. Do you bash little people? Oh, you don't do that, do you?
I don't bash little people. That would be very hateful.
Can you say that Analyzer is more than a YouTube friend, a real life friend? I'm not okay with anyone calling the CPS on anyone. Chubby Cheek says. I guess I take it she must be addressing you because I really don't know the whole story about the CPS. I know what I heard on Angie's panel.
Wait, so you're asking if I'm more
Chubby
than
Cheek
what?
says she's not okay with CPS being called on anyone.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that that's the case. I mean, it's never good. And I know that there's been things said that like somehow that I was saying Angie that never happened. That's not true. I never said that never happened. I just said that there were inconsistencies.
Are you serenading me?
Sorry, my uncle was calling. He's Peter Dinklage.
Oh, really?
I think he's calling back. I swiped left.
I heard you on Dana a little. It's
I,
a live stream doing so.
I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I'm not happy about that either. I'm going silent.
What's that mean? You're going silent?
Oh, I silenced the phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, someone was addressing you in here.
I heard, I saw that someone was thinking
But
that I
yeah,
was
that you were
mocking them.
bashing little people.
I would never bash little people. I
Lovebug
just,
said my sister was a little person and she died several years ago, and it was very hard for her to hear you do that.
I
Did
think
you
what
do that?
Love Bug is referring to. Wait, what
That's
was
the
that?
kind of thing that I'm talking about. Like, why?
I think Love Bug is referring to something that when I was on Dana's panel like a week ago or so, and Amelia Airhead, I believe is her name, we were talking and somehow little people were brought up and she was very passionate about it. And she said, I know you're doing this as a joke, but it still bothers me. And I said, well, why does it bother you if you know that I'm doing it as a joke? And so on and so forth. And I just kept, we kept going back and forth about that. And that's what I believe they are talking about.
Um, Dana's sticking up for you. In all fairness, I believe that Richard was totally goofing around on my channel. I don't think he realized that anyone would be hurt. I'm sorry, love bug. Yeah. Sometimes you got to think about, like, even me, sometimes in the morning, I'll say something and, like, totally put my foot in my mouth. And I have to, think about what I'm saying. You said it in analyzers recently, even on KCL. Oh,
Well,
making fun of
call
how
him
small
short,
he is.
but he calls himself short. I don't say he's actually a literal, like, little person. His nickname is like Shorty.
So who cares if he's short? It doesn't
Well, I
matter.
mean, it's not like we harp on it. I mean, they're acting like I literally hate little people or something like that.
Lovebug
What?
says, I miss her so much. You have to stop this, Richard. It's never funny. No, not
Well,
if it
I have
hurts
a hard time
somebody.
believing that that's sincere because, I mean, like Dana said, that was literally joking. And I even said that like several times. So I don't know why they would think that I was bashing the memory of her sister.
Samara says, Richard, can you apologize to Lovebug?
I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt.
But are you? That wasn't very sincere. I'm
Well, I
sorry,
don't know
Lovebug.
who that
I
person
am
is. I
sorry.
mean,
I mean, if you're going to apologize to someone, I mean, if you're not going to apologize, you're not going to be sincere about it. Don't apologize. If you're going to be sincere, yeah, that's
all right.
something.
I'll apologize. Lovebug 96. I'm sorry.
But you don't even know what you're apologizing for
Exactly. Why?
because they're
How?
hurt. They're hurt about the
Okay,
remark
but
that you made.
well, sure. But
That
then
was
from my
very,
perspective, this could be a random person just making this up. I mean, if I was joking and
yeah.
everyone knew I was joking, why should I feel like
So
I've
people
done
can say the
something?
same thing about your crew over there.
Well, sure, but I'm not demanding apologies.
She didn't demand an apology. Samara
Samara's demanding me.
asked you nicely if you would
I did.
apologize. You apologized, but it didn't sound sincere. That's what makes a difference.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry my apology wasn't sincere enough. I'm
See, this is what bothers me about you.
what?
You're so condescending.
That
You
bothers you.
are without. Oh God, it irritates me.
I think you're attracted to it when a
Oh
man talks to you
no,
like that, like,
no,
Carla, I'm
no,
not apologizing,
no. Ask my
baby.
husband. Ask my husband how attracted I am to that. He'll
He
tell you
doesn't hit
not
you
at
with the
all.
sarcasm or the condescending,
Oh no. Oh no.
not
Oh no.
even,
No, you won't,
during
Rich.
nighttime.
No.
Oh,
Mm-mm. No. It doesn't work with me. Sorry. Good night. Something is really wrong with this guy. Okay, love bug. Well, if if it means anything and I wasn't there to see it, I'm sorry that you're hurt. I'm sorry that you miss your sister. And my heart goes out to you. So, and I do mean that. So, there. How hard was that? Not hard at all.
I just don't know what to say to that. I mean, am I sorry that her sister died? Yes, that's awful. It is.
I don't know. But here's the thing too. Um, I saw when I was watching Angie's and you were up there talking to her, um, that chubby cheeks, bad photo, chubby cheeks. Her name's too long for me to say. Was up there, and she said that you were trolling her with a picture of her service dog who had recently passed away. And your response to that was, "Well, I don't give a shit. Why would I give a shit that that was your dog that passed away?" Like it's like you have no empathy. You'll say something and do something that hurts someone, and you have absolutely no empathy.
Well, I'm not sure if you heard the beginning of that, but when I came up on stream to defend myself, she was immediately screaming at me and yelling and all kind of, she was acting a little unhinged. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I mean, she was screaming at me. So, and then it came to this whole dog thing, and according to her, she was basically saying that I should have known this. I did that very specifically to hurt her emotionally. And that's what I was thinking at the time. I'm like, I don't know anything about you or your dog. And I
No,
did
you said
say
no.
I
Your
was sorry
exact
about your
words
dog.
was no. Your exact words was, "I don't. Why would I give a shit about your dog?" And her dog had just passed away. And like I'm like,
Well,
wow.
how would I? Well, seriously though,
But the way you say it,
How would I though if didn't even know
no. But
she
the
had
way
a
you
dog,
said it,
let alone it
who
died?
told you to do that, Richard? Yeah, who told you
Why?
to do
Because
that?
the woman was screaming at me and
Were you trying to
was
impress
unhinged.
Pandora by saying that to her? Like, I
Wait,
mean,
what?
you could have said, "Well, I'm sorry that was your dog. Like, I'm sorry the dog passed away," or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just have a problem with hurting people.
I have a problem with being emotionally manipulated in a situation like that. And I think it's unfair to expect me to know something about your life when I don't, and trying to use that as some kind of bargaining chip. And it's really not relevant to what was going on. We were talking about something very
Okay, and
specific.
that's exactly what Pandora did with
What?
everybody in this community. She used her fake cancer to
Sure.
manipulate every single person in this community
So she
to
was
feel
acting like
sorry
Pandora
for,
then,
so she could make money. No, she wasn't acting on all not as bad as Pandora did.
but similar,
No,
a
not
little bit.
similar. And don't put words in my mouth. What she
Well, I'm
was
just
doing was
saying,
she
I
was
mean,
telling you you hurt her by trolling her with a picture of her dead dog, and that it hurt her, and that's what she told you, and you didn't care. Your
well, she was
response was,
screaming at
"I don't
me.
give
It
a
wasn't
shit."
like she was like, Richard,
I didn't hear her screaming.
you didn't hear her screaming at me?
No, I
Wow.
didn't.
She
Well,
was
I didn't
literally
come in at
screaming at
that
me.
point. If she was screaming, I didn't see it.
I have it documented. She was totally off the chain, like off the hook. And I'm not even being remotely sarcastic. When I came up, she was screaming at me, calling me an effer and all this stuff. Like it was pretty.
Oh, wait a minute. I do remember that.
Yep.
Well, maybe you did something to her, though.
So that
You
gives her the right to scream at me and bring up her
um,
dog that I knew nothing about. I mean, that seems very
well,
manipulative.
I think that it was passionate. She was feeling some certain way.
Well, I get that, but it seems to me that to do that, it was taking away from what the actual point of what the discussion was about to attack me on that certain point, like that had any relevance to what was going on. And I'm not saying that to be mean or nasty. I'm just saying like it really had literally nothing to do with what we were talking about. And
Queen of
that's why
Hearts.
she was enraged.
Queen of Hearts says he went on for a couple of days making fun of a bad photo, losing her fur baby, even when he knew her dog passed. This is a waste. He uses the same excuses of denial.
Okay.
You admit that?
No. Okay. That's their
So
opinion.
you're denying it?
I don't even know what that means. That I
But
went on for
you
what, a
got a
couple of
picture
days?
of her dog that died and trolled her with that. Why would you do that?
Because I didn't know her dog died or that was her dog.
But why would you troll her? Why? What's the
I
point of
didn't know I
trolling?
was
Like
trolling her.
I have never understood the trolling thing. I really haven't. Like if you can't say something in your own name, why? Why? Why do you need to troll? No crickets?
What? Why do I need to troll? I'm not a troll.
Why do people troll? Well,
I'm
why do you
not
need to
sure.
troll? Because I mean, if I have
See, look,
something to
she's in the
say,
chat right now bringing it up. Like, is this about the dog again? I mean, honestly, I'm
it was a
sorry your
service
dog
dog.
died. For real. I'm sorry your dog died. That sucks. It really does.
It was a service dog, she
Well,
said. She told me
her
that
dog.
tonight, actually.
Either way, her service dog, her dog. I'm sorry
I'm
your dog
sorry.
died.
Hey, Queen of Hearts. Yeah, I never see you hardly. I get it, but not everyone is the same, Samara says. Trolling is pathetic. Yeah, I know. If I have something to say, I say it. That's why I get such flack all the time. And people make fun of me. Go away, Jed Miller. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, so go away. Pop down. Shoo shoo. Oh shit. How do I get rid of someone on here?
Well, you blocked me pretty
Okay.
quick.
Well, but I'm on my tablet tonight. Well, when I'm on my computer, it's easier. There. Is anybody in chat trying to come up on my stream? Yeah, well, that was on my computer. I can do it really fast on my computer.
Ah, well, I can jump down. I mean,
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to bed.
I think we had a very productive conversation. Chubbs, honestly, I am sorry your dog died. I mean, that does suck. I don't
Oh,
wish
that
that
was
on you.
Star Wars Agent. Oh, okay. I didn't know that because he didn't have the same. Like, if he comes back up, I'll let him up. I mean, now that you tell me who it was, because I didn't know that was him. Are you afraid of him, or are you
Of
afraid of
Star
him?
Wars agent?
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Star Wars agent. Good luck
Come
with
back
that.
up. I think he said that you're a big fat bully tonight in my stream.
Well, I guess he's entitled to his opinion.
I think you said that everybody's entitled to their opinion, and everybody, you don't censor. Nobody
Nope,
should be censored,
nope. I agree.
no matter if they're right or wrong. I guess he's
Absolutely.
not coming back. I don't know if I banned him or if I just kicked him. I don't know.
Well,
I hope I
Carla, I do
didn't ban you.
appreciate you having me up.
All right. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you. Have
All
a good
right.
one.
You too. Well, people, I think I'm going to go to bed because it's 2:30. Oh, I'm sorry that I kind of like him tomorrow, but that's okay. I think I'm going to go to bed. Your guest sounds like somebody I know from another community. I'm sorry if I don't know. I'm I'm not really good with conflict, guys. I have my own opinion about certain things, and I'm very passionate about it. And if I offended anybody, I'm sorry, but there's just certain things I don't tolerate. And one of them is racism, another is doxing, no matter who it is. I don't care if it was a dox of Richard. And the third one is bullying. And no, there's four: doxing, bullying. Um, oh, I don't know. I'm too tired to think about it. I love you too, Samara. So you guys have a great night. And oh gosh, this is almost 4 hours. I've been live. Um, Chubby Cheeks, we'll continue our conversation because I really do want to get your side of it too. Um, I hope Analyzer and her group leave you alone. No reason for her to bring you up ever. Oh, she had a whole stream dedicated to me tonight just to bully. I love you too, Dana. I wish you could have come up. Dana, by the way, how was your ankle? I think it was on your stream where you had twisted your ankle or hurt your ankle. I just hope you're okay. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in. I'm gonna get some sleep. So you guys have a good night. Good night.